Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. I have the great Hello Sport with me, Thomas and Eduardo and Thomas. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm good, mate.
Good,
Yeah?
mate.
You've got a smirk.
Yeah, what's that fucking grin on your face?
I'm just happy to see you.
No, but you're smirking.
Yeah, no, but I'm
that
happy to see you.
fucking
Can't
grin on
you?
your face?
What, it's illegal to see your mates and be happy these days?
No. There's a difference between smirking and being happy.
You
I
reckon
know
there's-
you're happy face. I know you smirk face.
Yeah, that's a smirk face.
This is my happy face.
Nah,
That's
that's
smirk
a
face.
shit-eating grin.
This is my happy face. If
You
my missus
changed
saw
it.
me with this face, she'd be like, wow, you're so happy.
Nah,
This is
she'd be
great.
like, what are you smirking at?
No, yeah. If you smirked at your missus, she'd be like, "What do you want? You want something?
Yeah, what?
What do you want?"
Mate, I honestly just happy to see you boys. We had a
Okay.
great weekend, very
did.
successful.
Yep.
Magic round has just come. I've got a lot of magic in me. You guys, Manly obviously doesn't understand magic. We get that. We've worked that out over the weekend. Why do you guys hate magic?
Well, it's not about hating magic. It's about seeing that magic isn't a key ingredient in rugby league success. Magic is
Clearly.
pithy, fairy dust bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only relevant for like fucking 72 hours of the year.
Woo woo doesn't win you comps.
Okay.
It might win you a magic round. Fucking mid-season, give a fuck
Forgettable.
game.
Yeah, okay. No one cares about it?
Woo woo can help you do that.
Okay.
And I'm not here to deny that. All right. Oh, that's fine.
Aren't you the crystal guys?
But woo woo won't win you a comp, right? You're the guy that's just done a Ouija board and someone found, and then literally I'm the guy telling you that I was moving it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
So like you might think that fucking magic's real and all that shit, but I'm
Okay.
sorry, bruh.
Woo-woo in conjunction with fucking skill and ability will get you where you need to go. And we got that in bucket loads, but we were overwhelmed by woo-woo on the weekend.
Look, I think you're over
The whole round was bullshit, right?
the whole, okay.
Do you want to know the stat, the actual stat,
Okay,
the only stat
yeah,
that matters really that anyone's ever talking about?
Yeah.
When was the last time we got held to zip?
Well, the weekend.
2013. What happened then?
About 4 or 5 days ago.
Before then.
Before 4 or 5 days ago when you held a zero.
Before
So before that,
before,
okay.
the, before the weekend.
So we're going before the weekend.
Yeah, before the
Yeah,
weekend.
which is
When was the last time
2013?
before the weekend?
What happened then?
2013?
What happened then?
2013.
What happened then?
You got beaten in the grand final.
Made the grand
We
final.
won the grand final.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
another stat that everyone's talking
You
about.
won
but
the grand
one's
final,
talking
did you?
about. One more stat.
I remember, didn't
hey,
Roosters
one
win the grand final?
One
No,
more
forward
stat.
passes all over the fucking
One
shop. They
more
cheated.
fucking stat. No team has won at Magic Round and gone on to win the comp.
That's absolutely not true.
No, that is
No,
true.
it is true.
Okay.
We did the
So
fucking
Penrith,
research.
Do some research.
Penrith aren't going to win the comp this year then.
No.
Melbourne Storm last year.
Melbourne lost.
Yeah, okay. Penrith also, pretty sure they won on the last year as well.
No, they didn't.
Nah, they lost.
Didn't they go on a massive win streak?
Nah, dude, they lost.
Look, it's official. Manly don't get magic. Manly don't get magic.
We don't want to.
If you're a magician,
don't.
stay out of
You know what,
Manly.
dude? You're the kind of guy who rocks up to his formal with like cards and shit and starts
Yeah.
doing tricks and
That's
fucking
hot.
has a
That's hot as
wand.
fuck. David Blaine, he's serious?
No,
Don't
David Blaine. David Blaine
Don't
doesn't wear a
pretend
suit.
David Blaine.
David Blaine is just a cool guy.
He's
who,
yeah, exactly. Cool guy, and magic is his
but
forte.
No. He wasn't rocking up to his formal in a fucking like casino poker card. fucking
really,
vest and-
but like pre-growth spurt as well.
Yeah, he's exactly no pubes, no sort of development, just a scrawny dude shuffling
High-pitched
cards.
voice.
Let me do some tricks for you on the table.
Let me.
Boy, look at this. Where do you think your card is? Not there. Magic.
Yeah. So are you
That's the
saying
Broncos.
that David Blaine, you don't like David Blaine then?
not what I'm
Manly's not a
saying.
fan of
That's
that.
not what I'm saying.
Does Manly like Harry Potter or no? Because you don't like magic.
I can do
Harry
it.
Potter.
I don't
Look,
mind.
Manly doesn't
I like Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter the movie,
Yeah.
but let's call a spade a spade. Harry's a bit of a fucking loser.
Wow. Harry saved the world.
What? No,
We're going to call a bloke that saved the world a loser.
Harry's a bit of a Magoo.
Harry's a bit Magoo.
What's wrong with
Harry's-
Magoos?
Okay, tell
Your
me how
main
much of a
guy is a
Magoo he
Magoo.
is. Tell you how much of a Magoo he is.
Tommy is a king of
J.K.
Magoos.
Rowling, when she brings him back in like that fucking play afterwards, I haven't seen what my brother has. He's like the most hated character in it. He became the Magoo he always was.
He became the Magoo.
Isn't like Tommy king of Magoos. He's the king.
Tommy?
Tommy Turbo.
He is not a king of Magoo. What are
Jake
you talking
Trbojevic.
about?
This is.
They are
No,
Magoo.
they're cool guys, dude.
I thought we celebrated Magoos on this podcast. So we're not celebrating
There's a
Magoos?
spectrum of Magooism, Devin.
Okay.
And firstly, I don't subscribe to the notion that the Trbojevics sit anywhere on that spectrum. They're hot throbbers from Eastern Europe with fat cocks.
They're-
Harry Potter with the greatest respect.
Harry was a big day. Like sometimes you wouldn't want to be around him.
No,
Like, you're annoying, dude.
Harry was a Magoo, and we all
Are
know
we trying to rewrite history?
Why does Ron Weasley, a red nut, get Hermione? Because she's like, fuck that.
Because Magoo's a hot?
No, Ron Weasley clearly an alpha compared to Harry Potter, who was a Magoo.
Harry Potter is beloved, and you're basically saying that...
I don't know if he is.
Manly... So, is it official, Manly hate Harry Potter? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the like.
It seems like it's official.
That's not what we're saying.
Is that what you're getting
We're
from this,
saying
man?
Ron Weasley drops panties whether you like it or not.
Manly hate Harry Potter.
Ron Weasley is a panty dropper of note.
Okay, I'll ask this
Harry
then.
Potter and Magoo.
Does Manly hate Lord of the Rings? Plenty of magic in that. Gandalf is an alpha dog.
No,
He doesn't use a whole lot of magic in that
he
series,
doesn't
which
use
I
magic.
think you would know that.
Yeah.
He used a bit of magic. You shall not pass.
Yeah, a little bit, but only
He
against,
fights a
but only
fucking
against,
Balrog.
but only against other demons, and she doesn't use it against like humans.
He
and
uses
that.
it for like, exactly.
You know what I
when the
mean?
shit's really hit the fan.
I'm trying to think. I think he does use it against humans.
When
The other wizard, doesn't he?
the other wizard,
Wizards
yeah,
aren't
that's a
humans,
wizard.
Denon.
Yeah, but he's still a human.
No, he's a wizard.
No.
I'm pretty sure they're still humans.
No,
They're humanoids.
Denon doesn't get Lord of the Rings.
I thought
clearly.
you knew this shit.
Denon doesn't get magic.
Please, give me a break.
You don't get magic.
Hey, if there's one thing we get, it's
Look,
fucking
let me ask you
magic.
this: it was Harry Potter a bit of a loser? Yes or no?
Give
Let's
me
be
a
honest.
break.
And
Leave
be
it in the
honest.
comments.
Be like,
Be honest.
be
Yeah.
100% honest. I'm not talking about the concept, the movies. I fucking love the movies. The movies are
Harry
fucking
Potter
great.
is universal
But Harry
love.
Potter, the character, think he's a bit of a loser.
He's a little bit Magoo. Clearly, Ron Weasley.
Ron carried that fucking
Yeah.
series.
Okay,
babe.
so
And he was the one jumping.
So it's
the
confirmed.
pants.
It's confirmed. Manly hate
Ron couldn't
Harry
even get a
Potter.
fucking date to the formal and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Go away, Harry, you're a loser."
So what do you mean? He got
He had to
the.
take those two girls, and then he didn't even dance with them. They brushed him. So you know.
I think Ron also couldn't dance as well, and Hermione
then he
was
got
filthy.
Hermione.
Yeah, but she was filthy at him and brushed
Harry
him.
had to get his fucking best mate's sister.
Mate.
No,
His best mate's sister.
he also got that other
That's
girl,
pretty lowbrow.
that other Irish girl with the Irish accent. He got her as well.
Probably with a spell or something. Coerced her, the fucking
I can.
Magoo.
I mean, I thought this
Dude, go on,
podcast,
your your best mate's sister's pretty lowbrow.
mate. I
reckon.
I thought Manly was a bad enough weekend as it is, but you confirming that Manly hate Harry Potter?
We don't hate Harry
that's
Potter.
That's a bad weekend.
We like the film franchise, the books. We are
You
fans
trying to
of it.
misconstrue? All I'm
Yeah.
saying,
You're saying he's a loser.
I'm saying he is a bit of a loser.
Yeah, he is. No, he is a bit of a loser. We stand by that. The club stands by that.
we do.
The club stands by
okay,
that. This is
stands-
official club.
Okay.
Harry Potter, the man,
Is a loser.
The boy, the Magoo boy man, is a little bit of a loser.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's a club
Manly
statement.
club
No, that's an
statement.
official statement.
Holy fuck!
It's an official club statement.
Wow!
Yeah, that's straight from Dez's mouth.
Tell you what, that's what you get for saving the world. Bloody get called a loser. Jesus.
Yeah, I think he rode on Ron's coattails.
You think he rode on Rod's
Yeah.
coattails?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus, it's hot in here.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
Man,
Okay.
it's hot. You turn the aircon on or what? Can you turn the aircon on, Matty? It's pretty hot.
Okay.
Oh shit! This whole thing. All right. I just threw this on. Honestly, this is in my wardrobe. I wasn't thinking. I was in a rush because I didn't want to be late for you guys. Threw it on, and it just happened to say this on it.
What's it say?
I can't
Broncos
read it.
38
I can't
plus.
read that. What?
Can't read
Sorry,
it.
what'd you say?
Broncos here, camera. Just look here, and you'll be able to read it. It says Broncos 38.
Oh, I
plus.
thought that was your age.
What's he? I can't understand what you're saying.
Neither can I. I'm just trying to squint. Does that say Denon is over 38 years old?
Broncos 38 plus. It's the margin in which we beat you.
You know what?
Oh,
It's actually
I know. 38 years.
38 years old.
I don't-
Broncos are 38 years
Is that
old.
how old are you?
Denon's 38 years
Is
old.
the club 38?
I don't think so.
Are you 38?
We
How
beat
old
you by
is the
30.
club?
Yeah, beat you by 38. It's. I think it's actually.
Is club 38?
It would be, I think it's about 31,
My jumper looks a
32.
little small on you.
It's because I'm getting big, bro. Hitting the gym.
Wow, okay.
Are you body shaming?
No, dude, not at all. I'm saying the jumper looks small.
Okay.
That's all.
What's that mean? Means the jumper looks small.
And is that a bad thing if it is slightly tight?
Depends how you want to wear it.
Ah, beautiful weekend of footy. Look, the world, everything is back in order as it should be. Last year was clearly a blip on the radar. This year is really where the clubs are right now. What is also interesting is that Broncos are ahead on the table as well. It's really interesting. You guys aren't even in the 8. You guys literally may miss finals footy this year.
Have you ever heard of the term like slipstream? So I like to think it's in like it's in F1, in
Tour de France.
cycling, Tour de France. It's basically where you just sit there behind the
It's actually
fucking
in running
pack.
as well.
So you're a weakling
just-
using other people's energy to get
It's
ahead.
exactly what you're doing. You're just
Okay.
waiting for the fucking time, and then what you do is you shoot up to the top. So yeah, we're in ninth now because we're like, who gives a shit? You don't want people thinking about you. Sit around
Yeah, no
there
one's
and
thinking
just
about you,
wait.
trust me.
And then
That's the
when the
point.
time's right,
That's the point.
Yeah.
You want to be
we're slipstreaming.
undercover,
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Okay.
out of sight, out of mind.
Under the radar, under the cloak of darkness.
Look, it wasn't
look-
our week. We're not going to sugarcoat it, but there's many reasons for it.
There are
And
many
at the end of the
reasons.
day, no one cares.
No.
Oh, okay.
One of
Anyone
those-
involved in the club, they're just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Who cares?
No.
Interesting. I think Desi would care a lot.
Well, no,
getting
Desi cares,
Yeah.
and we
But
with
we
Des,
don't.
Oh.
no,
'Cause
Des
we-
invited us in there to give the side. And
So the
fucking-
players, do they care or they don't care?
No, they care.
Oh.
Of course they do. But
So
they,
you
what they
two don't
care
care.
about. No, what they care about is
We're not worried.
basically the marketing department or whoever allowed the players to play in those black jerseys on Friday the 13th. It was a completely horrendous decision, and
Isn't that
again,
a bit woo-woo? You said you hate woo-woo.
I do hate woo.
Well, you're blaming jerseys for a loss.
The reason I hate
So-
woo-woo is in Magic Round on Friday the 13th, you're wearing black jerseys. You need to be as far away from woo-woo in a woo-woo round as possible. And we weren't.
Take woo-woo out of it.
So the
Okay.
marketing department, there are some heads that are going to roll potentially.
Okay. Okay.
Look, I will be honest, and this may shock some of the viewers, some of the punters and viewers. Tom and I weren't consulted going into last week.
No.
There's a first for everything, seemingly. I think, based on the performance, it's probably going to be the last. But
That was the main reason
if they
Des was
ran
upset.
that black jersey past me Friday the 13th, I would have gone, you've lost your fucking mind. All of you. Yeah. And
Okay.
heads have rolled.
Okay. So are we confirming that you won't wear those jerseys again?
Well, if we have anything to do with it. yeah.
Okay.
If we're consulted.
Okay. All right.
There was no need to.
Okay. Okay.
What was the point? Wear the maroon if it clashes. Wear the
Broncos are
white.
wearing white.
Yeah, it was a away game for us. It was very
Exactly.
strange.
So why weren't we in our fucking home?
Exactly. It's a disgraceful decision.
Yeah, look, sounds like you're blaming woo-woo, but anyway. Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, Origin Game 1, Bloke Live. Well, Bloke and Hello Sport, we will be at the Locker Room Hotel on Origin Game 1. So before the game, when you get off the train, you turn to your right, you go and walk into the stadium. Before you, probably 50 metres, boom, the Locker Room Hotel is right there. We will be there live doing a show before the game, so make sure to get there. It will be, it's going to be a huge day for us. We're going to put a lot of money into setting it all up, making sure it looks all pretty, all nice. Big event. Origin Game 1. Big Bloke and Hello Sport live show. We'll also have Gurino and maybe a special guest there as well. So Origin Game 1, it will most likely start at 5, and we'll maybe go the first hour with Gurino and a special guest, and the second hour with Hello Sport. But we'll announce closer to the date as to what the schedule will
Harry
be.
Potter not coming.
Harry Potter not coming because
gimp.
he's not a gimp.
He's a gimp. He's
He's
not
a
invited.
gimp, not invited.
That's crazy. Harry Potter's like one of the most beloved characters in the
The
world.
film
No, I
is.
don't think so.
The film and the
wow.
book.
I don't think so. I think that to be correct.
Harry's a bit of a fucking Magoo cunt, we know it.
Jesus, that's
No
crazy,
disrespect.
man.
No
That's crazy.
disrespect.
What do you think of Frodo then?
Frodo wasn't the best character, was he?
No, he wasn't. Frodo wasn't exactly.
He wasn't the best character. What, you preferred Frodo to everyone else?
He's fucking
Like,
right up there.
I don't prefer Frodo to Sam.
Yeah, that's a fair statement, but he's not.
Frodo's. Listen, I
Fair
mean,
statement.
if you were going to get like a figurine,
Hard pressed to find someone who'll
are you
disagree
getting
with
a
that.
figurine of Aragon or are you getting one of Frodo?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
let's be real here.
Yeah,
Frodo got
wow.
annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah, you got annoying.
Cut was like dying on the way to saving the
and
world.
It was annoying.
Yeah, it was. He was making it all
He
about
whinged
him.
about it. So it's
Bro,
all about you.
sorry, mate. Like,
Yeah.
you got a bit to do. Get over it.
Not that much.
Jesus.
We just carry a ring.
All you
And
do
even
is-
Sam carried
Bro,
you.
he's basically sitting in some cunt's backpack the whole fucking
Mate,
movie.
Sam
just trying to
carried
get
him
to-
into Mount Doom, dude.
I
On
will
his
say
back.
Sam's contribution was underrated. Did remind me a bit of the Broncos.
Yeah, dude, Sam was trucking nuts.
You agree?
No, I'm just saying
Well, you
Sam
said
was trucking
yeah. You
nuts.
said yeah.
I was agreeing with Sam, underappreciated.
Oh, okay.
Not the Broncos. Fuck Broncos.
Also, we've got a huge announcement coming in the next either, I think, June 1st at 6 p.m. Most likely June 1st. Last episode I said June 6th, but it's most likely going to be June 1st. There'll be a huge announcement at 6 p.m. So set that in your diaries. Also, we are in all celebrations, Bottle-O's, Porter's Liquors, and IGA Plus Liquor in New South Wales and ACT. That's right, every single one of them in New South Wales and ACT. So if you have one of the Celebrations, Bottle-O's, Porter's Liquor, IJ Plus Liquor close to you, they will stock Bloke. So get in there, grab a case. If it goes really well, we'll get put nationwide, and I'm telling you, that's a game changer for us. 12 stores in Spotlight. We've got Westbrook Tavern, Toowoomba, Waterloo Bay Hotel, Wynnum. It's on tap at the Waterloo Bay Hotel in Wynnum. Stafford Tavern, Brisbane, Currumbin Creek Tavern, Gold Coast, Woolgoolga Beach Bottle Shop, Castro Cellars, Coolum Beach, Jack's Celebrations, Ballarat, Park House, Monavale, the Icon, Wollongong, it's on tap there, Tats Hotel, Armidale, Hastings Hotel, Port Macquarie, Batu Bay Supercellars. Is that Batu? Batau? Batto Bay Supercellars. And also, we want to say a massive thank you for everyone that turned up to the meet and greet.
Yes, that was fucking awesome. It was lovely to meet everyone. It was, listen, I know that the punters and dribblers are in the billions. I was still shocked at how many fucking people showed up to the Caco. And shout out to the Caxton. Hectic. I love the Caxton.
It's a good spot.
It's a fucking
There's a reason why it's the most famous pub in rugby league.
It is. In Australia, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a fucking belter of a pub.
It's a pub's pub. Fucking great pub. It was great to meet all the punters, all the dribblers. Appreciate you waiting for, in some cases, a long fucking time.
Only 3 hours.
I think I saw people in tents out the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, big lift.
Huge lift. But it was good to hang out, shoot the shit.
That the decorum of all the people were fantastic.
Everyone was good.
Everyone was great. Absolutely.
Some guy was actually trying to break into a cubicle when I was in there.
That was after, though.
That was after.
He was lick it up.
He was off his nooner.
Yeah.
And he was trying to take photos of me as he was doing it. He was like trying to get in there. I'm like, bruh, get the fuck out.
Is that your first interaction with paparazzi?
Nearly
had your dick pics leaked.
Certainly. Well, no, I got fucking photographed punching bags on Clavelli. So,
but this was
not
like
punching bags. You know what I mean?
You nearly had your nude
hitting mitts.
I was like, what?
Hitting mitts on Clavelli. But this is the first time anyone's tried to catch me doing stall work.
Yeah, stall work.
I was asked flat out, can I come in and hold your junk?
Wow.
And I was like, stay there.
The same guy. I bet it was the same guy.
Well, yeah, was he?
It was the
Queensland
same.
jersey?
Yeah, it was him.
Look, he's excited.
That's look,
Wants to get around it. Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, at least he asked.
Yeah, he did.
I respected him asking. I respected him.
He respected your boundaries too. He didn't come in.
He did. He didn't come in.
No, that's a good bloke.
Yep.
So thank you everyone that came. It was absolutely incredible. Big news. Big news. Trent Barrett quits.
You need to put like an asterisk next to that, right there.
Well, yes. Okay. Trent Barrett quits, but there was a meeting called from the higher ups at Bulldogs the night before.
Not feel good.
Yes. So look, you could argue that he was put in a position where quitting was his best option. But Mick Porter has been
Financially?
Mick Potter.
Potter.
It's spelled
Harry's
Porter here.
dad.
Yeah. Mick Potter named interim coach because Bulldogs get magic. They might have a bit of a magic run to the season. Interim coach till the end of the season. Off the back of this, Nathan signs with the Tigers effective immediately. However, it said he quit because he wants to play centre. Kickout declares he has no regret signing with the Doggies. Fittler danced around the question on SEN and said he's here to coach the Blues in 2022. Buzz Rothfield has linked Magic to the Bulldogs. Anthony Mundine has put his name forward to join the club. We'll get the first thoughts on
it's all
Barrett leaving the Dogs. What are your thoughts, boys?
I think that the writing was on the wall when fucking Phil Gould took over a training session. I'm just like, that was the death knell right there.
And then they won.
It's just like it was all downhill from there. He's got an appalling coaching record. Not entirely his fault. Last year the squad was shit house. It's got better this season.
Largely his fault.
Well, the buck stocks with the coach, as they say. Like I think he's 15% winning record or something like that.
Yeah, it's not.
He's won I think at the Bulldogs 5 games in 33 or something like that.
Not good. But but then you hear things like Josh Jackson was prepared to speak at that meeting the next day to go in there and say that everyone's behind the coach. I think he said that in all his time that the Bulldogs was the best coach he'd ever had. So, clearly the players liked him and they think they've got a bit about him, and like he was praised when he was at the Panthers last year. But at the end of the day, you're in the winning business and they don't seem to be moving forward as much as clearly the board and Phil, who basically runs the fucking club now, thinks.
Braith of hottest man in HD that you've ever seen, Braith and Astor.
Hot.
He was like, I liked what he said, where he was basically talking about how their recruitment hasn't been necessarily to build the best team. It's like, who the fuck's available? So whilst they've made some like signings of players that were good, it was like, do they fit into this puzzle that is going to make a good team? I don't know. I just liked it. And I like Braith, so I trumpet what he says.
Well, it's like it didn't seem there was any rhyme or reason. It was kind of like, that's the best player off contract. That's the best player off contract. It wasn't like there wasn't cohesion in the signings of we're signing him to match up with him. Like even the Flanagan situation, like if your plan was to bring Burton in, why wasn't he playing all last year to get ready for Burton to arrive?
Exactly.
And so there's no like
Forward
plan
planning.
forward. Dufty, he's not re-signed yet. So is he your fullback going forward? Is he not? Did you just get him for 1 year? Has that helped? Could you put another guy in there develop for the next few years?
Yeah.
You know,
Do you
Paul
think
Vaughan
that Trent
also
has
gone?
been made to feel though that he needed to succeed, like he needed to win or he was fucked? So it was like, let's bring good players in and fuck the plan, just try and get good players and hope that it happens, as opposed to going, I'm just going to long play this fullback position, for example.
So this is why you need to separate recruitment and the coaching staff and go and like that's why you have a guy like Gus Gould come in, because he isn't thinking like year to year I need to get a win. He's thinking plan long term, and basically he calls a shot with recruitment and says like, you know, this is the plan we have, let's execute it. Whereas if it's a coach, it's kind of like a prime minister. Like a prime minister's only doing policies to make him or her look good in the next year or two. Whereas someone that doesn't have to worry about job security, now the reverse can be said where they become comfortable and they don't do a good job. But for example, you look at the Storm, like they have clear like 5 to 10 year plans and they stick to them. It's very easy to say that when you're at the top of the table. When you're at the bottom of the table, everyone's fighting to keep their job. It can become really tough. I think Panthers are such a good example though of like sticking with young players and coming out the other end. I think you've got to give Broncos credit. They've also seemed to come out the other end. They haven't got there yet, but it seems like they're starting to get the results of sticking with that young forward pack than panicking.
But that's what Phil Gould did at the Panthers. He built up that junior nursery so that you can rely on it, but also pad with signings if you need them. Which is what he was saying about the Bulldogs. He's like, they don't have anything. They don't have anything set up like that whatsoever. They just fucking buy people, and then when you get into a position where they're in, where they're at the bottom of the table and no one's to fucking go near them, then you've literally just got to pick up whoever the fuck you can get.
To further that point, when you look at it, so Dufty came to the club, Vaughan came to the club. Both players who have had good games and some, you know, not so good games, most likely won't be at the club next year. So that's a failure on recruitment. Like you recruited two guys that aren't going to be here next year. So clearly they haven't come to the system and flourished. They've come and not been good enough to continue on under what you think. And so that's not a good reflection on recruitment. It means you got it wrong. Like if you're recruiting someone and then you're getting rid of them after a year, even if it is the player's fault or not the player's fault, it still doesn't reflect well on you, because if, let's say...
What about Brent Naden as well, coming and going before the season's even fucking finished?
Again, that's an indictment on the recruitment, unfortunately. Like and a lot of people will like to say, well, it was the players that didn't play well. 100%, it's the players that didn't play well. No one's denying that. But it's still the recruiter's job to know whether they'll be recruiting a guy that is going to bring the right attitude that they like. And that's what the Storm do so well. They get guys, like, for example, Meany not playing great at the Doggies. Remus Smith comes to the Storm, they get put on a small deal, they keep getting extended. You know what I mean? That's successful recruitment.
100%. You can't make excuses for the recruit that you recruited not playing well.
Yeah.
Like you just go, well, we didn't win the grand final because we fucking didn't play well. It's like, well, were you going to trumpet that as an excuse? Like,
yeah. You chose that guy with that mindset.
100%.
And it didn't suit, and whether he's playing well or not, clearly his mindset didn't suit what you wanted to do.
So the other thing that raises alarm bells with me though is if it's clearly a long-term play here to get the Bulldogs back to any semblance of their old selves. At the same time, could you argue that it's the same for the coach? Like, don't you think that the coach should be afforded a bit more of a long-term opportunity to
get his feet,
to get his fucking feet and get the systems and benefit from the recruitment that gets more positive along the way? Or do you think that coaches they're not held to that same standard, or is it that they don't? There's signs that Trent showed that they don't like.
Like they've got Marnie and Chico coming.
Like, I don't fucking know because I don't know. You're not there. I'm not there at training. I don't know what I'm looking at,
mate. It's super tough, and you know I know people are going to think I'm fence sitting here, but I honestly just don't know the answer. I think, put it this way: if Trent was a rookie coach at the Doggies just off the bat, I think he would have been given an extra year with Reid Marnie and kick out there. I think his time at Manly may have hurt his cause here because they may look back to go, okay, he's been here, how long's he been there? About a year and a half at the Doggies or 2 years or whatever. He's only won 5 games. If he was a rookie coach, he'd be like, look, it's his second year, by his third year maybe. Whereas like they may have discussed, well, to be fair, he was at Manly. Another coach came in with exactly the same squad essentially and took that same squad into finals footy, I'm pretty sure. And so that may have been their case of like, look, he's actually been somewhere else and struggled as well.
Yeah, because we went to 15th, from 15th to finals, didn't we?
Prelim, eh?
Yeah.
Or like
I went 15th finals and then prelim.
Prelim after that.
And so maybe that's
Grand
what.
final this year.
But I understand that argument of like, mate, he didn't get the results at Manly, didn't get the results at Doggies. But in saying that, he did walk into a club that was just fucking
pile of shit.
He was a big part in getting all these bigger signings. Reid Marnie, kick out, and they haven't had a very coherent recruitment strategy. But he's still getting high quality players to the club.
Would he have got Matt Burton? Would he have been?
I think he would have had a big deal to do with that for sure.
Because he was at the Panthers at the time.
Burton's going to test his value on the open market.
Which is tough. That's so tough.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Has he got a 2-year deal with them?
I think he's got 2 year with a 3rd year option in his favour.
Oh, he's already testing.
Well, that's the reports anyway, that November 1st he's going to test his...
I think his manager even said it, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much and which is interesting because I said probably like, I think I might have said to you boys like, or even Guru on Monday, I was like, when they weren't playing very well, I was like, shit, does this make Matt Burton go, you know what? I'm out. Like, I want to...
Like that chicken Happy Gilmore, get me out of here.
And also what's interesting in the Burton situation is it's not like he's on this mammoth deal that he signed when he was killing it. He signed it before he was killing it. So he might be on 400K or something. So that usual pull of like, look, I'm on 8 to 900K. I'm not going to get that bigger deal anywhere else. So I'm going to stay and stick it out and try and work it out. It's like, well, he could probably get 4 to 500K nearly at any club right now, even if,
he's on 500, isn't he? At the
yeah, around 4. I mean, it's the reports are always exaggerated. So if they're saying 500, it's probably 400. So the Doggies... look, it's as I said, I'm going to sound like offensive with this one. I don't know what the right answer is. I feel like you are in the same boat. You don't really know.
No.
You can understand where both sides are coming from.
Well, like there's a part of it, it's like, okay, so now you play out the season with Mick.
Yeah. And who else is on? Are they going to go Flanagan? Are they going to go Paul Green?
Why the fuck don't they go Flanagan? The only reason I wouldn't go
Flanagan if they don't sign,
is because of Kyle. Like, that's the only reason I wouldn't go with fucking Flanagan.
If they don't sign Shane Flanagan, and we've talked about this on the podcast many times, I will be fucking shocked. Paul Green's got his fucking hat in the ring again. I'm like, yeah, sure,
Flano's
Paul.
been a good coach. Like
he built that fucking side himself, and they won a comp without a superstar.
Yeah.
Am I fucking missing something? And he's not even talked about. He wasn't even in the paper the other day as an option. Shane Flanagan.
He's certainly being spoken to.
I think that like the Sun element does like complicate it a little bit because as a club you don't want that extra pressure unless it's going to be a sure thing. Like look what the Eels have had to deal with Brett Arthur and his son. Whether you agree or disagree with the choice, if Jacob Arthur wasn't Brett Arthur's son, there's no way he would have got as much heat as he got doing that. Let's say it was just a rookie that came in. His name was Smith. There's no way fans would have been that angry. But that added pressure of it's your son, the question of, would he have been selected, all that kind of stuff. And so, like, I'm sure Bulldogs are sitting there going, ooh, it's tough if we bring Flanagan, his son's going to be there as well.
I might as well read out Flano's, like, what he did for the Sharks. So he came in 2010, halfway through, took over. And then his first full year, like, they came 14th that year. Then his first full year, they were 13th. Then he went 7th, semis, then Asada, semis, won the comp, semis, prelim, semis. Won the comp, prelim, and then it got punted.
Yeah. Because of, we got the punt because of...
Because of salary cap, not because of performance.
Not because of his form.
So he's built that club.
That's
you're
fucking wild.
100%. And you're still seeing echoes of that in their DNA today.
Yeah.
Like, that club isn't the same unless Flanagan comes in and does what he does. Look, it's a really interesting one. You would say Flanagan's probably the most qualified.
If you're a Dogs fan, I'd be like, fuck it, just get him.
Yeah, it's tough. That extra pressure of father-son. Even Nathan Cleary dealt with it at the start. Like, they got, like, people forget they got annihilated by fans in that first year where they were struggling. Nathan Cleary, like, Ivan talks about it openly. It's like, it was probably like one of the worst years I've ever been through. It was super, super hard. And I was thinking, like, will this ever end? And so that father-son thing, it's a fucking big elephant in the room of like, if you're not going well, that's the first thing they speak. Like the first thing they look at.
Fucking sack your son,
I
man.
tell you what I would be... well, you just sack your son.
Sack your son.
You know what I mean?
You gave him life. Fuck. I mean, what else does he want from you? Sack him.
I will say Shane
Giveth life, taketh away.
Shane did debut Kyle at the Sharks.
He was good at the Sharks too when he debuted. And he was good at the Roosters
Maybe you
too.
played good under his dad. Maybe it's about fucking...
Well, he played well enough under his old man that he
get the
got
Roosters.
signed by the Chooks.
Yeah.
Think about it that way. He could be... That could be the thing
It could
he
be the
needs.
perfect elixir.
I tell you what I wouldn't be doing if I was Brad Fittler. Taking that job.
There's no, I think Brad's just playing, he's playing smart. Renegotiations will come up soon.
I think Brad would prefer to slam his dick in a car door.
He's a
than go and
smooth
work
operator,
hard.
Bradley.
Dude, and Bradley, Stress and Bradley don't go hand in hand. He's a 3-game-a-year guy, bro. And then he just fucking shakes hands and does a bit of stuff in New South Wales Rugby League and, open centres of excellence and all that shit. He just cruises.
He has the opportunity to go down as one of the greatest New South Wales coaches of all time. Like, he's right there. If he wins 2 more series, I think he would be in front of Gould, wouldn't he, for the most wins, New South Wales?
Yeah.
Like, why would you risk that?
He's just a guy with he's an open collared shirt.
Get him on the
operator. In fact, he
motorbike,
wears like a
helping young
skivvy.
kids.
He's a skivvy guy. Give me just a tight fitting fucking skivvy.
It just wouldn't align. And so, like, we've been here before at the Chooks, and it was...
When I spoke
he was
to him,
much less experienced than
Of course he was, but it just...
But like if Trent can't do
weird.
it, and I'm not saying Trent's better than Brad, but like Brad coaches 3 games a year. Like that's all he does.
Well, he motivates
But
3
it'd
times
be
a
like
year.
going from it's like me trying to run the marathon this year, which I am trying to do, but
you might walk.
4Ks to 42. Like, fuck that. I'm not pumped about it. Am I going to be good? Am I going to be the best? Am I going to get a grand final in this thing? No.
He's also got one of the great fucking assistant coaching staffs of all time, Joey, Bedsy, and fucking...
And he's coaching the best of the best. It's like, now I'm going to go and... Not only am I going to run, I'm going to go and coach a bunch of fucking...
If it's a pay thing, like let's say he's only getting half of...
bunch of Harry Potters.
A bunch of Harry Potters.
Let's say it's a pay thing. If I'm New South Wales, I'm saying, look, whatever Bulldogs are offering you, we'll match it. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say because it's only 3 games a week, it's a year-round thing, but I'd assume he doesn't get paid as much as the head coach gets paid because it's a full-year thing.
Yeah.
If I'm New South Wales, just whatever he wants, whatever you want, bro, boom. Because he could be one of the greatest ever.
Also, like, I don't know what he gets from 9, but I'm pretty sure he'd have to give that up to coach the Doggies.
Yeah.
So that's that as well.
Yeah.
Mate,
Dude,
I
he
cannot
likes
see
to
it.
just play with his alpacas and fucking hang out.
I can't see it. Why would you?
Probably
Why
get
would
stoned.
you, bro?
You're on the verge, literally the cusp of greatness. Like
Pound vegan cigs, play with your alpacas,
Yep.
coach 3 games a year, right off into the sunset.
Look at him. Look how chill he is in that picture there.
Dude,
Man.
he's too chilled for that gig,
He's
dude.
radiating fucking relaxing energy around his head. Look at it.
He wouldn't look like that if he was coaching.
No, dude.
It looks like Lockyer. Stress.
What about the hair? I like the hair that pops out there.
That's Eddie Simpson vibes.
That's I like that.
One of the great. Actually, can we get the video up?
Yep.
Can we?
It's one of the great videos of all time.
It is truly one of the great. Like,
I've been watching it still, just going and laughing,
look,
just like.
put it this way, I haven't seen a better video that I remember.
Yeah.
And I've seen some pretty fucking good videos in my time. This is one of the all-time videos, and Eddie, I just want you. Matter of fact, we're going to get the video up
Yeah,
here on our
it's like
phone.
the moves are electric.
It really is. Electric is the only way to describe it. Edward, I really want you to walk us through this one, mate, because it was beautiful. It was poetic. It was everything you needed it to be.
So this is like, put it this way, I'm having such a good time. This is after Manly's performance. You know what I mean? You get the tongue out and you activate the hips, baby. That's all it is.
God.
So there's a couple of things I'm doing there, Denon.
Yep.
I've got the hips activated.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I've got the rug out, which is always a crowd pleaser. You get the tongue working.
Yep.
And then I'm using that female scarf that I was wearing as a cravat. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
To fucking, as like a bit of a
whip.
Well, it's all colour and theatre.
Yeah, you keep
It's colour and theatre.
I tell you what, if you ever wondered how you got your missus, I think that's solved the fucking question. So the mystery is no longer.
Did you know that he was part of an all-male Dubbo South Primary under-12s dance troupe?
He didn't know that, did
Well,
he?
you really? Well, now I do. It makes sense.
It
now.
makes sense when you see this.
Truly, and that's the funny thing about that video is so many people were saying to us, man, I wonder how Eddie's taking this loss. And we were like, I'm pretty sure Eddie is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And then this video drops.
Yeah, this is what Eddie was doing.
It says,
This is what Eddie was doing. Eddie was just fine.
The music's perfect as well. The music is
But
just
fucking
fantastic.
my mate Max Down, shout out to him at Max Famili, congratulations again. This was like a full stage that I erected. So it was all the lights, the sound.
it got you, the lights got you.
Bro,
The
in
big
that
lights got you.
environment, it's hard not to get, pumped.
You look like you're in a film.
Yeah, literally. That's like Pulp Fiction pretty much.
Yeah.
Truly one of the great
Pulp
videos.
Simpson.
One of the
fun.
great videos. I tell you
But
what,
were
you
we
delivered.
talking about that the other week, about how to activate the hips?
Yeah, we were. But
you
we were
and
talking
I
about
were.
dancing.
Yeah. You've got to activate them. If you want to move well, you must activate the
first.
hips. Hips first.
Mate, they were activated there, that's for sure. I mean,
Back-
I'm surprised the missus wasn't pregnant after that because
Well,
she
She very well could be.
She could
yeah,
be.
mate,
We
get it
don't know
tested.
yet.
Get it tested.
6 weeks, usually the
6 weeks? All right. Well, it's
Could
only
you
been
about
imagine
6 weeks and then we'll
you
see.
show like your son or your daughter, this is actually the night that you were conceived, and then you show the video of you doing that?
I will. I actually will do that.
Definitely.
That's just the narrative. That's just it. Well, the dates don't add up.
No.
Don't ignore it.
Don't worry about that.
Look at the dates, bruh.
Yeah.
Before we wrap Trent, who is our interim coach?
Mick Potter. So
No,
he was
Josh
No.
Hannay.
Where's Hannah,
Oh,
dude?
he would have got the call though. He would have got the
Big
call.
mistake
But
from the
he's with
Dogs.
Big mistake.
he's with Fitzy.
He's in Queensland as
You
well.
know,
eh?
but he's with Craig Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon's
Oh, is
been
he
on
an
his wing.
assistant coach
I'm pretty
now?
sure. Oh, actually, no, he's at the Rabbitohs now, isn't he?
I think he's at the Rabbitohs. I think he's also doing Queensland. It's really,
Okay.
Yeah, you don't even know Queensland coaches. Bad omen. Bad omen.
Oh yeah, he was him, Smithy, and
Oh, righto.
Thurston.
Right.
Yeah,
And like fucking Lockyer and Cooper. And
I thought you were an
Billy.
assistant coach.
I'm an assistant to the assistant.
You didn't even know the fucking coach.
I'm like a personal assistant. to the
actually,
coach.
I'll Google Hannah. It was John Morris that went to South. I'll Google where he went.
So we don't know
John
where
Morris.
Hannah is.
So I think Hannah's still at the Shark, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Dude,
Oh,
you
sorry,
can
by the
buy
way,
wins with Hannah.
Just clarification for before. Gus won 6 Origins as coach, and Freeze won 3.
So
So we'll win this year. So,
So-
we've got 2 more
so
after
we
this
go.
year.
so
we go.
essentially 3 Origin series more, and he's the goat, equal
Yeah.
to the goat.
Yeah.
Not hard. He'll get
Yeah,
one
but
this
he
year.
truly
Gus-
can do that.
Gus had 2 stints in the 90s and then the 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Freddie is still like 45 max.
Nah, he turned 50 a couple months ago.
Bullshit, did he?
Yeah.
Really? Fuck, he looks young and
He
hot.
does look young and hot.
Jesus.
But I mean, like, let's say he's got 10 years to win 3 series. I'm pretty sure he could do that.
Well, he'll
Which
do
is-
it in the next.
How
3.
old's Joey? Joey's
It's
surely.
actually Joey's birthday tomorrow.
If Joey's 50 soon, I'm going to be fucking.
I can't believe he knows Joey's birthday.
Joey's
off by-
younger than Freddie.
That's a dribbler. He literally just pulled out he knew Joey's birthday off by heart.
19th of May, 1974.
did?
47.
Yeah, that is.
He's
good.
47.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And what,
Joey's
it's tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
So he knew that Joey's birthday was tomorrow just off the bat.
You know what? That's
That's-
New South Wales pride for you. It's
Jesus
just reigning
Christ.
supreme. That's
Jesus.
what New South
That's
Wales.
why we
do.
love you, Maddie. That's why we love you.
That's what New South Wales do.
The great Anthony
look,
Mundine's put his name forward.
Sure,
Before
let's
number
get him.
Madge linked.
Yeah, Baz Rothfield reckons Madge's linked to the doggies. That's one of the great all-time Mayos. Like, that's maybe all-time Mayo.
It's Buzz Rothfield.
Dude,
to
what the
core.
fuck, Baz?
Surely he knows that it's Mayo. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking throw it up there. Because that gives Madge, maybe it's all like it gives Madge more negotiation power, like, because he may be looking to renegotiate. I don't know. But for Madge to be linked to the
A,
doggies.
Madge hasn't been sacked last time I checked. And B, would be the strangest pickup of all time. To take a sacked Madge Maguire, who's been in the papers fucking almost every day for the start of the season, then shortball him into arguably the worst gig
You
in
telling
rugby
me
league
that a
history.
Madge
Doesn't make
Maguire-
any sense.
Mate.
A Madge Maguire, Anthony Mundine 1-2 punch isn't going to win a competition. I'm into it.
Mate, could you
I'm
imagine?
into it.
Madge with assistant coach Anthony Mundine.
Yeah. And
That's
then
rugby league for ya.
Madge gets COVID one week and then Chock's running the side.
Mate.
Fuck yes.
I will say, though, Chock knows how to win. Like, when you look at his career, before he went to boxing, he was, like, unbelievably talented. Like, his career lines up, before he left for boxing, his achievements line up with some of the greats, literally, if you go and check it out. I think people, because he was so boisterous and talked, a big game boxing, which you've got to do, you're a prize fighter, aside for a few comments that he has apologised since. Mundine's career doesn't get enough appreciation. He was fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He was good.
What do you got there, Manny?
I was just going to say, you were right. Josh Hannay is still at the Sharks.
So you don't want to leave Fitzy's fucking wing. Got him under the wing there. You don't want to leave that.
Be a bloody assist, to be a caretaker.
But in his heart of hearts, Denon, he is a
That's true.
caretaker.
He would have
You know
been
what I
drawn to
mean?
it.
Like, you can't take that out of a man.
Before it even got announced that Barrett was gone, he would have I I think there's an interim coach
there's
gig
an
going.
interim
Now,
coach
he would have
gig, yeah.
smelt it days before, and he would have told people and just been like, mate, watch you get sacked this week.
You know what? You know
There's
those.
caretaker on the air.
You know what we're dealing with.
You wouldn't get that. You can't smell.
We're dealing with it.
That was
you wouldn't get
drive-by,
that.
unfair, but sure.
We're currently like engaging in like recruitment services to hire people. Look, if there's any experienced beer sales reps in New South Wales, email matt@blokeinabar.com. That's a serious thing
Yep,
too. And you have to be experienced. Please don't, like, I've never done it before. Like, experienced beer sales rep, New South Wales, email Matt.
It's funny, you put up a thing the other day asking for graphic designers, and the first one that came through, I clicked on it, and it said graphic designer resume, and then it just said fuck South, and then had a video of Adam Reynolds missing the grand final kick.
Hire that man.
Hire that man.
You know what? He nearly got the gig. He nearly got the gig.
How much are you paying him?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So I'd be careful because it's probably going to be like what, case of beer a week?
I'm being serious. We actually need a New South Wales rep. Email Matt@blokeinabar if you have the resume.
Also, I'm being serious. We are selling Dior hoodies and summertan hats Thursday 6 p.m.
Hellosport.shop.
Thursday 6 p.m. Dior limited amount. Like as in,
Limited,
once they're
yeah.
gone,
They're not
Never
coming back
coming
ever.
back.
We'll never do them again. That's a fucking promise.
because it was a nightmare getting them. Or
No, because we move on, baby.
Yeah, okay.
We move on.
I know that the last jumpers that
Do
you
you
did.
ever do anything again? Not really.
Sometimes we try to, like, yeah, for sure. Like
Not
we
really.
got like,
Just t-shirts and shit.
well, we got
Singlets.
bloke jumpers coming out this year, and they're the same
Yeah.
as last year because a lot of people missed
You're
out.
just very wrong on that assumption.
Yeah, right.
You do it because people
Oh, I
miss
thought we were
out.
a team. That's
Because
right.
like, well, no, but
No,
because
it's
like
fine.
some people may not have an extra, $80-$90
At that time.
at that time, and then you sell out, and they're like, oh, I needed an extra week for payday or whatever. So some people do it. Depends. If they go quickly, I would do them again. Seriously.
Maybe.
we like to just
Never say
fucking-
never. Justin Bieber.
He did say that, and I will.
But sometimes
always
we do
refer
say
to-
never.
We do say never, and then we go back on it. But
Sometimes.
we try not to.
I say, this is what I usually say.
We come up with better ideas. That's the thing.
Okay. I usually just say most likely we'll never do these again. Just in case the demand is too high. Like, for example, the jerseys, I said like the minimum we would have them back most likely is in a year, but there's been a substantial amount of demand from them. So I'm like tossing up, like, should we wait another year or should we go get them made and it'll be like 3 to 6 months till they come?
So don't lie to you guys.
But the thing is, Dior, 6 p.m. Thursday, they will never come again. So if you
Most
want them, most likely. If you want, set your alarms, guys. Set your alarms because they're going to sell out. They're going to sell out.
And we only do one hat a year. So the summer tan is the 2022 hat. You don't want to miss out
It's
on
also
the 2022
membership.
hat.
You want to be able to,
2022 membership.
when you see that hat and you have that hat, you can be like, I'm a dribbler from 2022.
Yeah.
In 10 years'
And
time.
on the weekend, there was
An
punters
official.
and dribblers hats,
Yes.
black ones, and they were dribblers from 2021. And then even before then, there were the ones in the midnight blue, only 2 of them, rare as hen's teeth, mint condish. They were whatever the year was
When,
before
does condition mean condition?
Yep.
Okay.
Mint condish.
And it was like, next year, these will be a flex.
Yeah, big flex.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
fair,
about these
fair.
in 10 years? They'll be like a fucking flex.
Yeah,
so,
Like
if you don't have one,
Schwarzenegger,
you got to
Mr.
get
Olympia
one.
vibes.
100%,
Flex,
bro.
and Flex Armstrong.
And
If you
those
wanna
jumpers are cool. I'll give you that.
Thank you
So
very
I will
much.
give you that.
Thank you so
They're
They're
nice.
fucking comfortable.
They're like
They're
a
a great
good
fit.
charcoal kind of colour.
You don't see charcoal enough, do you?
You don't.
You don't see
and
And then
that
when you
writing
see
is cool.
it, and then when you see it, you go, "Fuck, dude! Charcoal's literally what's been missing in my life."
Yes, fair point. Fair point.
here it is.
And you guys have some great content lined up for that too.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Been working our dicks off.
Working the dicks off. Literally dickless at the moment.
It's the way it is. You got to do it.
Sometimes you got to work it off for it to grow back. You know what I mean?
It's like trimming a hedge.
You've always said that. Okay. 6 p.m. Thursday. Be there or be square.
Also, New South Wales rep, Bloke in a Bar. Don't ask for prices yet. Just send a resume in at Bloke in a Bar.
You can ask what the salary is. You can ask the salary, but I'm not going to put it out here on the fucking podcast for everyone to know what your salary is if you do get the job, because I'm a professional and I have a business to run. Jesus Christ!
But we all want to know.
What are you earning a year, Tommy?
Just whisper it.
Not much.
Anthony Milford returns to play for the Knights this week. One of the great stories. Gets cleared of the charges, so he's good to go. Boys, how good is it to see the Milf back?
Great to see Milf back against the Broncos. Now, some may say there's narrative here. Is he an anytime try scorer? Unfortunately, he's coming back and playing for the Knights, who aren't great. I don't know.
I think he's going to add a lot. I think he's going to.
Oh,
add a
no,
lot.
he'll definitely
I think
add a lot.
he will.
Yeah.
First game
will.
back, maybe
not first game?
Yeah, because he hasn't been playing. We were trying to work this out before. He's played not even lower grade games.
Oh,
eh?
to be clear, so he had most of the charge blocked. I think the only charges he did get was like vandalism, so like might have hit a bin or a car or something like that.
Which in rugby league terms is innocent.
Well, it's nothing.
It's nothing. In
That's
fact,
the
he
Monday.
might actually get an upgrade on his contract for a bit of vandalism, promotion of the game. You know, it's marketing. It's from the marketing budget at least. But has he been playing any lower grade?
Not that I'm aware
So
of.
nothing.
No.
He's just coming straight in.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be doing some
Training and shit, but I just mean like...
Yeah, for sure. He's not going to be game fit. And I think he's been named on the bench, correct? Starting at 6. Jesus.
Straight in. They want some spark, baby. They want some spark. I like the MILF. Big fan of the MILF. Always have been. I do think that he's probably going to be a little bit underdone for this game, but I think you'll see him build nicely into the end of the season. But mate, there's narrative everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
I do hope he go well.
Against the Tigers? Against the Dogs?
Yep. And MILF against the fucking
Naden and
Bronx.
Milf, anytime tries into a multi, could be horny.
It's poetic. It really is poetic. There's not a lot of narrative, a lot of yarn.
Imagine if MILF goes out there and just fucking rips it apart.
Oh, and Broncos are sitting there going, we really could have used a gun like Milford.
reverse had
I mean, a narrative bet would be try.
Yeah.
A try scorer.
Yeah.
100% it would be.
That's a narrative bet through
It's a
and
narrative
through.
bet.
And I'll tell you what, he's got some nice inspiration off Reynolds as to how to give it to your old team.
Fair call. Fair call.
You know what I mean? This is how you do it, bro.
And like you could argue Reynolds replaced him as the main guy at Broncos.
Well, he has.
Maybe Reynolds and Milf to score.
But yeah, look, I think if it goes well for the Knights, he could be the man that they need. Because if you've got a spine with Mill firing and Ponga firing, that's hard to
Who's
fucking
the
handle.
7 for Newcastle?
Adam Clune.
So Clifford's still out.
Yeah, I think he's still got some personal things going
Oh,
on.
okay.
So yeah, look, big game. This is a really tough one because if you looked at the Broncos, because they've won 4 in a row, if you looked at them going into this, you'd be like, they definitely should win. But I think everyone in the NRL is not fully convinced that the Broncos. Not convinced, but you know what I mean? There's still that little nagging like, oh, are they where we think they are yet?
You could say the same of most teams in the comp.
Yeah, good
They're
point.
just they're not completely convincing.
Like even the Eels, for example. They go out and beat fucking Penrith,
100%.
the Storm, and then lose
they
to
go
the
to the
Cowboys.
Roosters,
and
they lose to the Cowboys.
Yep.
Mate, they're all over the fucking map as well. So I think you can literally say that of any team. And more often than not, when you start to get on a team and think that they're fucking humming, they'll lose the next week.
Yep.
The only team that hasn't really done that to me, in fairness, is the full cream milk, the Cowboys. They've actually I've gone them every week.
Not this week, you
But I
don't.
haven't this week, but I have, and they keep turning up and delivering. Whereas other teams like win-loss.
You're going to be devastated. If they get the win this week, you're going to be devastated because you're riding them when no one believed in them. Now everyone believes in them.
Yeah.
And you've
And I'm riding him this week.
Are ya?
I'm riding
He's taking
him.
over.
Ride that Cowboy.
He's jumping on.
Yeah, hard.
Well, I was already on, but I am continuing to ride him. He's jumping
But
on.
he got on when no one
No,
believed.
No,
I
so
was
was
on-
I.
no.
I've been on the
No,
couch.
you've bandwagon.
No, I have
He's driving the
not.
bandwagon.
He talks
We
shit.
were all talking shit about the cows.
He's driving it. You're jumping on it.
Cuz, can we not let this little dumbass try and make out that he was on the cows
was.
all season? He was apologising
I
2
was.
weeks ago for talking shit about him.
Look,
I was on him way earlier than
No,
you.
you
Yeah, I
weren't,
was.
dude.
I'm not sure what's happened on other shows, but I know on this show he has been the most bullish on the
There we
Cowboys
go.
out of
No,
anyone.
he
There we go.
hasn't.
I
You
can't
know
speak-
it's-
I
Look
can't
at his
speak for other
smirk. The
shows.
smirk's back. The Harry Potter smirk's back. We know it's bullshit.
Look, I can't speak for other shows. I'm not going to do it. Holy shit, that win was
that
crazy.
wind?
That's a bit breed. That we tell you, that was the rugby league gods knowing you're lying.
No, they're backing me up. They go, no, yes, can't.
They're about to
That
fuck
was
you
that
up
was
for lying.
magic-y. That was Harry Pottery vibes. Is it like some
That was
sort of
literally Harry Potter off you do
wind
fucking call him a
monsters? I
loser.
don't know what the fuck they're called in Harry Potter.
Wing
I can't
monsters.
remember. It was a wind monster, dude.
A wind monster.
It was a wind monster.
You should be a writer, bro.
I've thought
You've got
about
a
it.
fucking imagination
Thank
and
you.
a half.
Yeah, dude. Look, I like to bound away on the old keyboard every once in a while, you know. Put my thoughts down onto paper.
Have you ever tried to write a novel?
A novel?
Yeah, a novel.
No, haven't.
Have you ever thought about writing a novel?
short story?
Shockingly, I haven't sat down to write a novel, punters and dribblers.
What about a short story?
If I've written a short story, it's been...
What about a love letter?
Oh, fuck.
Do you
I would've
write
written a
letters?
love letter. No, I don't.
Love letters.
You know, a letter guy?
Walk us through a love letter you're in.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't remember specifically, but I'm sure I would have, you know...
Did you write one to BP?
No, it would have been more to Steph, my missus, my beautiful wife.
Yeah. What if you were writing a love letter, what would you kind of open with?
Shit, what would I open with? To my dearest, probably. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you've
okay. Old
got to
school.
let them know.
Yeah, okay.
And you got to stick with the classics, I think. And it's to my dearest Stephanie.
Yeah.
She spells it differently because she is Eastern European. I just want everyone to know that. So it's
Yeah.
it's an Stefani.
Okay.
So to my dearest Stephanie, and then you just start to break down things about them.
My dearest Stephanie, is that implying there are other Stephanies though? Because if she's the dearest one,
Look, that's a great point. I'm just referring to the classics here, and if there is an inference in the classics that I have multiple Stephanies on the go, then I would blame the classics.
Well, the term was used back when people had harems.
Okay. So
they would have multiples.
Should I start with to my dearest Stephanie in brackets? Don't have any harems on the go.
Yeah.
That's
only
what
Stephanie I know.
The only Stephanie I know or go.
Yeah. The only Stephanie I know. The only Stephanie I go. P.S. I don't have a harem.
I don't have a harem.
Yeah.
Is it a harem?
Harem.
Is that what they are, or is a harem like a group of people, like a harem of women?
No, I think a harem's like I've got multiple wife vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
which is a vibe.
If we rule that out early on, well, it's certainly it's a vibe of sorts. I would now need to know that I'm letting her know straight away that you are the only one, because dearest might imply plurals. And then, you are breaking down, I guess, things about them that you like, maybe the way they make you feel.
And how does she make you feel?
Physically or emotionally?
At the moment, with 2 kids, physically, I think you'd probably... Physically, I think you aren't talking about...
Can you get physical in a love letter?
No.
Hey, look, I love it when you do this.
Yeah, I love chonging. I think it's a little bit...
Look, I think love speaks all languages, and if it's a physical language, it's a physical language. That's your love language.
I think that in the written word, though, you probably just want to express feelings and emotions.
What, you think physicality is too crass?
No, well, I just don't think you're expressing physicality in the written word, I think maybe is less impactful and meaningful, because you can only express the written word.
Why do so many women read sex novels? They love that shit. 50 Shades of Grey.
That's almost
telling you that that's what they want in the love letter.
So maybe you need to spice things up.
Maybe men are doing it wrong.
Yeah, maybe we're doing it. I mean, we're definitely doing it wrong. That's for sure.
We're certainly doing it wrong, but
we're not doing it right.
I don't think that my level of if I was to write a sex letter...
Your penmanship isn't up to that.
What would you write?
That's what I mean, right? Well, I'm not going to get into... What am I going to write? Well, I'd have the sand shoes on.
Would you start with... I want
to get grit with my sand shoes.
Yeah, would you start with... As I write this, I sit in my sand shoes.
Yeah, I'm here in my sand shoes.
Gripped out of my mind.
Yeah.
Basically,
I can't tell you how gripped I am.
Yeah, I've got full grip of the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give 110% thrust.
Yeah. Calves
literally
engaged.
Yeah. Glutes fully engaged.
Glutes engaged, calves engaged.
Hips released. Eddie released them earlier.
Yeah.
Showed me how to dance, all that kind of stuff.
Fully flexible and released.
So how would it start now that we've let you know that you can be physical?
Okay, well, I just said feet to the floor, fresh pair of fucking...
The Journey to Pound Town.
That'd be the name of the novel. That'd be the novel. The Journey to Pound Town.
By Tommy Burns.
By Thomas Birmingham.
The Journey to Pound Town.
In sand shoes.
Man, that's sexy. That's hot.
Dude. Yeah,
that would be your nickname
sand
in
shoes.
The book. Sand shoes.
Sand shoes wrote me another letter.
Let us know if you'd like Tom to write a novel in the light of 50 Shades of Grey. Maybe it's a world's bestseller.
Could be.
And you sell Journey to Pound Town by Thomas Birmingham.
By Tommy Sand Shoes Birmingham.
And literally the character's name is Sand Shoes.
The first 100 purchases, you get Sand Shoes with it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will get a sponsor on board. Signed Sand Shoes. That's dribbly as fuck.
It was beautiful though.
It was lively. I enjoyed it.
It was really beautiful.
Why are they called sand shoes?
Because you can wear them in sand, I reckon.
They should be called grass shoes.
What, grass shoes?
Grass
shoes.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Or maybe even bedroom floor shoes.
Yeah, that's true. Pound Town shoes.
Dude, have you got a fucking pair of Tommy Birmingham Pound Town shoes?
And then they're like my Jordans, but it's
Pound Town.
You literally stand there.
My Jordan silhouette, it's just me on all fours, like
ready to fucking engage.
You know, like people like run up and down.
Pound Towns, dude.
They run up and down the shop.
Pound Town 4s? Holy shit, dude, I love those ones.
You know, like run up and down a shop to like check the grip of a shoes.
Yeah.
Like literally standing there thrusting to see how well the shoes
I've
work.
got to get my thrust on. Anyway.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Sounds good. Now, a new little segment that I thought would be enjoyable.
Yep.
Just to get the brain juices flowing. Fox Sports talking points and basically just a quick spiel on do we agree, disagree, all that kind of stuff. Ricky Stewart, real senior players, worked with a psychologist on their mindset last week to avoid fading in games. And the question I want to ask with that is, do you believe in the guru kind of, I know psychologist is not the guru chat, but sometimes like whisperers get brought in to fucking get the job done. Fan of the whisperers or not a fan of the whisperers?
Well, look,
Whisperers have their place.
I think whisperers have their place. The Roosters won a comp with a whisperer.
Well, he was a snake oil salesman.
Why is it always like whispering though? Shouldn't we be shouting to motivate, you know?
Whispering, I think, you know what? Whispering can be different to other people. Some people have got better hearing. Some people have got worse hearing. Some people need to be shouted at, but I might be whispering. It might come across as a whisper.
So do they, but like a coach whisperer or whatever, is he always like, or does he like?
But if he's deaf, he's yelling.
Okay.
I think the whispering thing implies a bespoke approach.
Yeah.
So each player gets their own whisper.
Yeah,
know
no
what
one
I
else
mean?
can hear the
Suits
knowledge.
It
yeah.
suits you as opposed to just a blanket yelling.
Yeah, okay.
Which just like, because it's going to apply to more people than others. And if you're the person sitting there that's not really, you're not really fucking getting it, you know what I mean? It'll just fall off you and wash away.
Yeah, okay.
Like a duck off a water's back. But if you get a
Or
real
water off a duck's back, but whatever.
You could go duck off a water's back too.
You could do.
we could argue that water is going, dude.
Yeah,
duck
get
off
off
a
me.
water's back. Dude.
Yeah,
Because it's
true.
on top of the water too, and so the duck is floating on top of the water, which would be the water's back.
Exactly.
So the
could
water's just like,
argue
get the
it.
fuck off my back, bro.
Yeah, you could.
There you go. It's been argued.
You could argue.
Not only could you, but it has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just saying.
Moreover, having someone that you don't really know, push you over into a quiet, dark corner and start whispering in your ear, you're going to remember that.
That's true.
It's not something you're going to quickly forget.
I want to know what it is. They're like, hey, don't fucking lose any more games when you're already up by 20 points. Wait, when you're up by 20 points, don't be fucking stupid and start doing dumb shit.
It'll be,
you
put on the Pound Town Force tonight.
Well, I'll give you a fresh pair of Pound Town 4s if you don't fade out in games.
Pound Town fours.
Or
I'd tell you
threes.
what, I'd buy the Pound Town fours.
Yeah.
Is that the next merch drop?
Well, that'd be
Pound
the fourth generation. We got to do Pound Town ones first. But
Okay. I reckon by the fourth you've sorted out of the kinks though.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mean kinks as in
Dude,
kinky.
we'd
I mean
move Pound Town ones.
we would move Pound Town ones, dude. That'd be so funny. Pound Town.
mate, I'd buy them.
Yeah, I get that.
Everyone would,
Yeah.
dude.
The Pound Town ones. Yeah, we'll look into it. If
Would
you
it be
make
those
Sanchez, reach out.
toe sock shoes? Would it be designed like that?
Oh, no, that's
With, like,
fucking
grip underneath?
really dribbly. Look, I think you'd want to wear the Pound Town ones out as well. You know, like you
Yeah.
want them to.
You want to wear them to the pub, show off
Yeah.
the boys. They'd be like,
And
"Why
then-
you got them on?" You go, "What do you reckon?"
What do you
Well, if I
reckon,
pick
bro?
up
I can
tonight,
pick
I
it
want to
up
be
tonight.
able to bloody,
Jesus.
basically walk up walls if I need to. So you need them to be cool as well as functional. So the toe one's probably not.
Glad to see they
work.
never really took off the toe shoe.
I am super glad. Super
People who
glad.
wear toe shoes are just Magoos.
people were pushing them as things.
It's a way of showing you're a Magoo without anyone having to talk to you.
Yeah, but then they'll sit you down and go, "Well, actually, mate, you know that the human foot's designed." so that
Yeah, and then
the
you
toe
just go
spray."
Magoo, you just block them off. Block them off. You need a Magoo button, it just drowns them out.
Shut up, Harry.
Or you play the Step Brothers, show your mouth.
Yes,
Show your
exactly.
mouth. But yeah, I'm glad. It's kind of like, it's not the same, but like 3D, I'm sure there were people when 3D came along, 3D movie's going to be the thing. Then it didn't become a thing. And I'm sure with those toe shoes, people were like, these are going to be the thing, invest life savings. And then people are like, bro, toe shoes aren't a thing.
Like you used to see people running in them. Like every now and then, I'd be like, "That looks so uncomfortable."
It looks
how much
ridiculous.
would it hurt your fucking feet? And also like, humans, they've been designed to like, it's like, yeah, but I'm literally not chasing lines and shit anymore, bro.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, dude.
I'm like
you know what?
sitting-
We probably weren't designed to fucking sit in chairs all day and ride around in cars.
It is strange how we like all, you know what always like wigs me out is like, imagine when you're walking through a city or whatever, every wall was see-through. And like, you are literally like, I could be walking, there's a wall there and there's a person living on the other side doing some wild shit and it's like right there. But it's only a wall that separates us.
So I'm just going to, if I can just clear up what Kempy's shocked by, is that
His walls?
walls separate people.
Well,
and if
I'm
someone's doing
shocked by
something
the
on one
large
side of the
amount,
wall,
the density of human beings all in one area, just living their lives.
But I know,
You know what I'm
I know
saying?
what you're saying. If you
That's
looked at an
better.
apartment
Yes.
building and removed the walls, and you
Yes.
just saw everyone like walking around, like doing
living their
thing and
life.
shit,
It's like right
pretty
fucking there.
crazy.
yes, that
It's like-
makes more sense.
Same with
right
a plane.
there.
Like if you saw a plane, it's just people like
People
sitting there.
flying in the sky.
And like they're literally like they're living their whole life and they're right. It's only like that's what's separating me from seeing whatever the fuck they're doing. It's bizarre, in my opinion.
Probably Pound Town.
Probably Pound Town.
Well, there's always Pound Town going on.
Yeah, Pound Town is literally.
How many people have got the Pound Town ones on at any one time?
That's what I was like, just at any one time, people just chonging their little hearts out.
It would be like,
$1 billion, $2 billion.
that's 20. That's pretty high.
Do you reckon it's
20% of the
like
world?
when do you reckon that
Yeah,
like
it's
with
probably high.
electricity when there's like high period on and off periods for like high electricity usage, Pound Town meterage, when would it be? It'd be between the hours of what, like maybe 4 and 12 every day
At night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I reckon a bit
For
later. Maybe a
the
bit later.
Arvo?
The Arvo.
Arvo Chongs.
They're not as. I think they're will like.
Night is still
I don't
love.
think that time.
Yeah, okay, so we say maybe 7 to 12.
Sun goes down. I think daylight savings time, we can bring it back,
People like an
extra.
Arvo Chong
Yeah.
in daylight savings.
Yeah.
7
daylight
to 12. Morning gets a bit of a run. Middle of the day, you don't see much.
Morning
action.
gets a run if you. It doesn't get that much of a run. Maybe in the Simpson household.
Middle of the day is for affairs. Middle of the day
Mornings
is for
get runs, are they?
Well, I mean,
But like daytime, I reckon.
It's for affairs.
8 till 1, 8 till 12.
I reckon daytime, like
7's still a pinch early. It's dinner time.
yeah.
lunchtime is purely for affairs, I think.
Lunchtime.
It's only affairs happening at lunchtime,
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
because that's when they can sneak around while you're at work and
We
shit.
at work.
Yeah.
Affairs would get a fucking big run. Affairs would
What would
own.
be the highest
Affairs would
meter for-
own 12:30 to 1:30,
Literally.
wouldn't they?
Midday Chong.
Because you're going for lunch.
Oh, I'm just going to see the boys
Come back
or
with a
whatever.
hickey and you
But I
go,
want-
oh, bird fucking ran into me.
Your hair's all messed up and shit, and it's like smell like.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't affairs also happen between in the high Chong period, just generally in between your sort of 7 to 12s.
But
Harder
you're
to
at home
hide.
with the family.
Then you
Well,
got to be on
that's
a work
true.
trip.
Yeah,
How many
you
work
gotta-
trips you on, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas
that's a
like
good point.
midday, like everyone's at work that day, and so yeah, that I think that would be the affair time. So if people are acting weird around midday,
Reach out if you have affairs. Let us know.
I always, what it's sort of like affairs like that, full on like blokes that like live two lives. That sounds like the worst fucking idea.
It would
ever.
be horrendous. It's like you just live a life of anxiety.
Yeah,
I feel like.
but the
you would.
energy, like the amount
You'd
of energy,
have to. Unless you were like,
A piece of shit.
like a real
sociopath.
sicko. But like the amount of energy I put into my partner, and I know when I have kids as well, like I don't have the energy to like be doing all that.
No, dude. I've got enough people that I disappoint. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So yeah, look, just don't have affairs. That's the advice. That's the advice we can give. Don't
That's
have
all we can
affairs.
say.
Don't have affairs.
Yeah.
And chong time between real good, nice people
Yeah,
is
yeah.
usually between 7 and 12.
Well-behaved Chongs between 7 and midnight.
Anything outside, you're probably having an affair.
Yep.
Even if it's with if your wife or husband,
If
it's an
you
affair.
chonging your husband or your wife outside the hours of 7 to midnight, you're having an affair.
That makes sense. Now, does Ricky?
well, you don't have a job.
Do you like whisperers? Coach whisperers.
Do I like coach whisperers? I think they have a place. I'd like to know who the whisperer that they brought in
Yeah,
was.
that's
What's his
also-
background? Where did he learn to whisper? How long has he been whispering for?
Or is that just maybe what Ricky calls his fists?
Worked with my fists
Yeah.
on their
Work with
mindset. That makes
He's
sense.
worked with my fists on their mindset.
Psy and colleges. Fucking moving.
Yeah, look, if you replace that, the sentence makes exact sense.
Yeah.
Still. So, Barnett repays the Knights after a long ban. How good was his performance on the weekend? One of his better performances I've seen in a very long time.
Denon, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I didn't watch it, but I
Okay.
believe that Barnett repaid the Knights after a long ban.
You trust me?
I trust you. I trust you implicitly on that one.
Okay. Campbell steers the Titans to a crucial win. What about the young hot boy? Did you get to watch
Jason
him?
Campbell,
yes,
mate.
yes,
He's
yes.
a thoroughbed.
Fucking so
Where's he
young and
been?
so hot.
Where's he been? Where's
I know
he been?
he was injured for a bit, but, like, come
but he
on.
was dropped. Am I going mad? Or
No,
am I-
he was
playing.
dropped.
definitely dropped.
Yeah.
He's 100% dropped.
Now,
Yeah.
like the argument was, he's been injured, so we're just easing him back in. But it's like, no, you don't ease back. Like, you don't ease. Easing back in isn't 3 weeks in reserve grade or
No.
2 and whatever weeks it was. Definitely 2 weeks minimum.
He plays with a lot of flair. He very creative. I
Loose
fucking
has hips. His hips are
Dude,
loose,
he's
Some of the loosest hips in the game.
they're I like as a hip specialist.
Clearly.
They're fucking loose, dude. Those
I've heard
hips, bro.
there are rumors
They're
on
fucking
the
loose.
Gold Coast that he can actually just do a full rotation.
No, he
with his
can.
hips.
He can. He doesn't like to.
Double-jointed
He
hips.
does. It wigs people out. So he doesn't like to do it a whole lot, but he can do it.
You know, like on pushies on the back of the day, and the ones that you could do the full bar
well,
spin.
the ones where the
they had the ball bearing thing. You just spin. it.
Gyro.
and
Gyro
the
spin?
brake
Think
the
so.
brake wires like were hidden, so
Yeah,
they could.
where
yeah.
they disconnected. That's basically his.
Remember
hips.
you got your first bike where you could like push backwards and it wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't stop.
That
Yeah,
And,
wouldn't-
you,
yeah,
and
yeah,
when you were
yeah,
going
yeah.
fast, it was so cool to do that because you're like,
Yeah,
I'm going
and it went-
backwards.
and it was
Yeah.
like
Didn't have back
like,
brakes like
Yes.
that.
I've gone.
You know what else used to scare me is getting on people's like the pegs on the back because I just didn't trust them. It's fucked. Or people are like, yeah, just sit on the front, bro. Like, the front of the bars.
You were a
And I'm like,
real.
bruh.
You're almost
Pegs were pretty cool.
intimidating
They
as
were
fuck.
cool.
Though you'd see like 3 people on a pushy, and
You'd be like, how do they do that?
Probably gonna bash you.
Yeah. If there's 3 blokes on a pushy, you're getting robbed.
Yeah,
You're
you're
getting
robbed.
bashed,
You're
yeah.
getting bashed.
Because they don't even have enough money to get another bike. They got 3 blokes.
Mate,
on.
they got 3 dudes on a bike, one guy on pegs, probably the biggest, and then the small. It's who you got to be most scared of. The guy sitting on the front.
Yeah, 'cause he's
the
a
small
wild
one.
man.
He's lightest, but he's probably going to fuck you up the
Yeah,
hardest.
well, because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And you've just seen all 3 of them going down a steep hill, and the bloke on the front was loving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yipping and yahoo, and even though he's knocking on death's door.
yeah,
That bloke will
You think
flog
he's
you.
got a thing to care in the world when he comes up against you, pissing your pants
No,
in
he
the local
doesn't.
skate park?
He doesn't.
You're in trouble.
Shout out to Pegs.
Shout out to Pegs. Shout out
I
to
never had a
Titans.
set, but I always like to look at them.
I got
Have you been
Pegs.
peaked?
Oh, yeah.
Only between the hours of 8 and 12. Or early in the morning when no one's... You know.
Storm crucial mid-season hiccup versus Panthers. Is it a concern? Now, this is basically the second biggest game outside of their prelim final, I'm pretty sure, that they seem to struggle in. Do you think the New Age Storm, have anything more about them? No.
I don't think so. I think they're missing Jerome Hughes and fucking Pappenhausen.
Yeah, I
so I'm not terribly concerned about. They're two massive fucking outs.
100%, half your fucking spine.
They're 7 and they're 1. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, fair income.
They will lose this weekend, though, unfortunately.
I don't think so.
Be a big game. I actually think they're going to bounce back massively because, like,
That's why I got them 13 plus.
Walker and Keary answer critics. They both had fantastic games. You get a chance to watch them? Or?
I watched
yes,
bits and pieces.
Pieces of
They're
bits.
starting to come together.
They
They're
are.
starting to come together. I was listening to Cooper Cronk, who Tom likes to regurgitate this morning, and
Sounds like you're about to.
Exactly. We're two peas in a pod, baby. He likes what he's saying. Thinks that there's a few little tweaks here and there, and it's starting to come together very nice.
You want to hear something crazy? Roosters are 4th. And, like, with the year that they've had, you would think they're, like, fucking nearly on the outside the 8th.
4th?
They're 4th.
It's
Crazy,
fucking
eh?
ridiculous.
They're so good at just, like, hanging in there, hanging in the fight.
Yeah.
You would have thought that they were literally maybe out of the 8 with
Yeah.
how the rhetoric around the Roosters.
Yeah.
man.
Mate, they're fucking unbelievable. But he was saying that Walker, instead of going for like the great play early, too early, just got to build into a set. And then Keary, he was saying, stop trying to do everything at once and just focus on what you're good at, running the footy.
Mate, trying to do
better
imagine
playmaker.
trying to kick and pass at the same time, mate. Like, it's just
Exactly.
fucking-
Well,
you
but
can't
Cooper,
do everything
Cooper
at once.
has played so much footy that he understands that it's impossible to do everything at once.
Like,
you can't
it's
tackle
actually impossible.
as you're kicking,
As you're running,
as you're scoring
as
a
you're
try,
passing.
as you like.
Only the Greys can do that.
And even then, they know you can't.
Yeah.
Except Joey could
Joey could.
and did.
Only player to ever do it all at once.
Did you know that?
When they say he can do it all, they really mean he can kick, pass, tackle,
Run.
talk, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally.
No,
All at
they
once.
mean it literally.
So he's like he is on the field and off the field at the same time.
Kind of like Helam Lukey. Did he score a try?
Did he
Did he
score-
not
well,
score a
yeah,
try? He's
exactly.
fast speed of light.
Exactly.
Now, Cobbo. Cobbo was on Throbbo. He's on standby to fullback this week, covering Tomato Martin. Mate, what about that Selwyn Cobbo? Do you think he should be selected for Queensland on the wing?
I don't mind it. Tuolangi's pretty good, but I guess
Throbbo's good. too.
Throbbo's pretty goddamn good.
He's a scary prospect.
Throbbo's
He's
pretty
very, very
damn good.
scary.
I was saying on about even he's like he's sort of like he's just starting to really like believe. Fully actualized
Believe in
version.
himself?
Yeah, like Neo in the Matrix when he realizes he's the one. It's sort of that thing where he's like, oh, I am fucking awesome.
Yeah. Seeing him at full flight, we don't see that, like a bloke that big moving like that.
Look
you don't
good.
see that often.
Dude, he looked fast as fuck.
And he's like fucking 104 kilos or
Yeah.
100 kilos and 6'4", I think.
He's big boy.
6'3" or 4".
He's a big boy.
That's crazy.
Throbbo
That's crazy.
is a throbber.
Throbbo's a handful. I think you could make worse decisions than to pick him on the wing for Queensland. He's
Like-
a fucking presence.
Yeah.
He can truck seed. He's good in the air. He's quick as fuck. Look, I think we've still got too many weapons at the tough.
Yeah,
if I'm being
Queensland
honest.
won't win it.
But I think he'd be a good selection, sure.
I mean, I'll tell you what, in a year or two, rah. In a year or two when he's, even more mature. Even
What is he
more
now,
gun-ho.
20, 19?
19, just turning 20, I think.
Fucking hell, they were good days, weren't they? They were good days.
You know what's crazy is like, and I said this on Monday, is like Suwali is going under the radar. This guy is still only 18 and he's playing
Oh, I
outstanding.
don't know. I think the people are starting to fucking notice.
starting to see?
After his performance on the weekend.
Because he debuted when he was 17, people forget he's 18 still. 18.
Yeah, but like, mate, 17 playing first grade rugby league is fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is 18, to
Yep.
be honest.
It's all outrageous, but he's starting to find his feet. He's starting to believe, Tom.
He's starting to believe.
He's starting to believe.
Tell you what, he's hot as fuck.
Yeah,
dude, he's going to be marketable
So
as fuck.
hot.
Yeah.
And he's maturing, like his face is becoming more chiseled.
Yeah, more chiseled, dude.
Yeah.
He's like grown into his man body. Like he's still long
Yeah,
and
yeah.
spindly. Imagine when he fucking thickens out and then you just seen him on the cover of like fucking Men's Health.
Crazy.
RIP, that
Imagine him
magazine.
out like at a cafe in Bondi when he's like 23, 24 and $1 million a year. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Dude, he'd have the Pound Town ones on
For sure.
Yeah,
Fucking
fucking
oath.
oath.
We'll send him for free too.
We'll send them to every player in the NRL.
Mate,
hands down one.
that's almost going to be our first signing.
Yeah.
Suwali.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't put these in the notes, but do you think now that Australia's got the Rugby World Cup in 2027, that could be a danger for people like Suwali, Angus Crichton, and a few more players to jump over?
And
Yeah,
this is
but
no
that's a long way away.
Yeah, this is no disrespect to Union, but I just think it's in such a tough spot. You'd be pretty crazy to be going to Union at the moment.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, like, if you've got the 2027 World Cup in Australia, I'd be going, like, you're almost like, let's stay and make some serious bank in rugby league for a few more years and then go.
But even like if you go, you're basically like, you're not going to come back on a massive contract. You know, like I don't think any NRL club's going to go unless you are just fucking killing
if
it.
you're like an Israel Folau.
Yeah.
You
You definitely could.
You
could go
Israel,
there.
If Israel came
Sonny
back,
Bill
you would have
did
got
it.
signed on huge money.
Sonny Bill Israel
mate.
did it. I think it depends on how good you are when you leave.
To the Wallabies, you reckon? Though going to the Wallabies.
Folau though, Folau did it, and he would have been. He would have got $1 million, and he was coming back if he had done it, and he hadn't been saying all that off shit.
I don't know, man. I don't think Izzy would have come back on a
Bro,
move.
if you go to the rugby union and on the playing for the Wallabies against the international standard of rugby union is still very high. So if you go and play for the Wallabies and fucking dominate, then you are dominating against the best in the world in rugby union.
He was the best player in the world.
He was the best player in the world, right? So you are still a fucking animal, a rugby union handful. You come back and you can command big bickies.
I think it's it's a big risk because if you go and you don't dominate like Israel did, because there's no guarantee that you will. Fuck, that hurts your value coming back.
It depends where you're at in your career. If you've already won comps and you've made shitloads of money and the opportunity presents itself to play for the Wallabies, maybe it's enticing. And if you can get away with just playing fucking one season or 2 seasons before you getting selected,
and then
as opposed to like a big fucking 5-year slab.
But also, if you're not getting big rugby league bicky on your return, then you go, all right, I might just go play for Toulon for $12 million a week.
You do it at the back end of your career.
Yeah.
If you're that good, you get shitloads of money from Rugby Australia. Then you get to play in the World Cup if it's a dream of yours.
Is there that
Off
much
you go.
money though with Rugby Australia?
Yeah, no, because
anymore?
Rugby Australia
no,
have top-up contracts that they can spend for. It's like marketing essentially.
But do they even have that money anymore? Do you know?
They're also
would.
from the World Cup. They're
would.
going to have a shitload of money.
So they
coming
get
in.
like grants and all that kind of shit.
They'll get a bunch of money from
It's
the
interesting.
World Cup.
And there's guaranteed money from like attendance and ticket sales and shit. There'll be money rolling around. I dare say that as it gets closer, you'll start to see people getting poached.
Yeah.
In the lead up to it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Like Israel, he could have come back and got a big contract. But I guess my concern with, let's say you're a player that's killing it in league, the risk is you go away. If you don't kill it, you all of a sudden come back to league as the fuck with your hands out, you know?
Yeah, but you
that's
could
the
still
concern.
go and make fucking shitloads of money
In Union.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Europe.
So you think it is a concern? As in, like, we probably will see
I
people
think
poach?
it'd be crazy if rugby
It's only
union
gonna be
doesn't do it.
It'll be a handful of players. I think will be targeted, and whether or not they go is a different question.
I hope they get some. I like it when rugby union's
but
got
it's
some good players.
it's a different time to when Sailor went and fucking Takiri and shit.
Because like if I'm Union, I would be saying, boys, don't blow this money spending overs on NRL players. You know, like they've probably been burnt in the past with some of the NRL players that they've got across. But you know what? You probably convinced me. Yeah, like they're going to have heaps of money from the World Cup. It is such a big thing. It's such a big event. They've got guys like Angus Crichton, Cam Murray, who would literally slot in perfectly into Union. Yeah,
Who was it? Lottie Takiri said the players he'd go after were Sam Walker, Taniela Paseka, and I don't even think he said Crichton.
Mate, Crichton
Maybe Suwali, Taniela Paseka, and Sam Walker. And I was even thinking, I was like, Taniela Paseka would he'd be great in rugby union. He is humongous.
He's a fucking big boy, and he wouldn't have to get through all that like long cardio running. Like
mate,
he'd be more
in the second row, or he'd be at number 8 or 6, and he'd just get to work.
I think Crichton would kill it. I think Crichton would like genuinely fucking kill it in Union.
Suwali will be their like number one target. Where would he be then? 25.
Fuck, that's crazy how young he is.
He's so fucking
What
young.
year is it?
23.
Well, hang on. It's 2022, and the World Cup's in 2027.
Yeah, he'd be 23.
I was 18.
He's 18 still.
Fuck, I had him as 20. Jeez, 23? Holy shit.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
almost
You know
a
what?
pinch early.
Probably is. Fucking.
It's almost a pinch young.
Yeah, but as if you wouldn't want to play in the Rugby World Cup at home.
Do they have to go a year early though?
Yeah, he
You'd
would.
have to go a year early,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, interesting. I'm pretty sure he just exercised his 2023 option. Yeah, interesting. It's going to be interesting how the NRL staves that off and stops that from happening. do they enter some kind of, if a superstar, if it can be proved he's being targeted by the Wallabies and he's got an actual contract offer, does the NRL step in and say, we'll bump your contract up from the NRL? You know what I mean? Like a superstar kind of clause. Even though that would get very grey because
it'd be like you'd have someone like fucking Matt Frawley being like, "Oh, the Wallabies are trying to get me superstar clause." They're like, "Come on, Matt."
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Even though Frawley's been killing it.
No, he's great. Yeah. That was not a drive by at Matt. I was just trying to pick someone who's not a Suwali. No
but like, for example, like us losing Sonny Bill, us losing Wendell, Lottie, I think that did hurt the game a little bit. Obviously, it didn't hurt it to where we didn't like.
It hurt at the time.
But you know what I mean? Like,
hurt at the
if
time.
we lost a superstar like Suwali, it does hurt a little bit. It's not just like, oh yeah, fuck, whatever.
No, definitely. But rugby league, and one of the things it has over rugby union is that it constantly produces thoroughbreds.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like think about Folau. He went and we fucking, for a minute, but you're like, we've got a million people who have slotted in.
Well, we didn't care for that long.
Do you think if they can't get any NRL players and they just go in with what they've got and they're not successful at Rugby League World Cup, could that be potentially not the death of rugby in Australia, but like fuck a huge blow?
If we were say not to make the finals in the Rugby World Cup in Australia, that would be probably the death. I couldn't think of a worse outcome.
It depends what expectation is like going in, to be honest.
Like if we get bounced out.
Like England went in with all the expectation in the world when they hosted and they got bundled out in the fucking pools and they came back. I know it's a different scenario, but I don't...
But England's isn't
if we're having the World Cup tomorrow, no one's fucking sitting there going,
not
Australia's
tomorrow,
going to
but
rip and tear.
2027, dude. Like we're trying to, you'd want to be...
But even, I honestly think that even if we did have it tomorrow and we got bounced out straight away, like that's bad. Like that I think that would negatively affect young kids going... for sure.
All
of a sudden it turned into... Because like when we were growing up, that playing for Australia in the Wallabies was like the pinnacle of sport almost. Whereas now it's like... Comfortably. Whereas now it's really not that. And so like if they get bounced out straight away in their home country, I think that goes even further along the lines of like, it's not even... What's the point? Play rugby in a World Cup so I can get bounced out in the first... 16
Look, it certainly wouldn't help. It certainly wouldn't help. I'd be looking at fudging that pool draw so that we get a throbber and then, I don't know, maybe Namibia and Zimbabwe. And,
Just imagine we had like
Russia, the USA, Canada. Just fucking give us the good stuff.
Give us the beta nation.
Give us the good stuff. Just get us to a QF, baby.
Just don't put us in a pool of death. In every World Cup, there's a pool of death. Keep us the fuck away from that.
Correct.
Could you imagine if we did get put in a pool of death? Oh fuck.
Well, I tell you what, I think it's done on world ranking. So if you're like, there's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like. If you don't get your act together, you're in tier 3 and you're fucking all sure as shit in a pool of death.
Situation.
We're currently 6th.
Great.
I will say, like, I know, some people are saying, like, no one else bidded, and that was because they said it was a preferred nation. It still will be so fucking cool.
No,
that World Cup will be so fucking cool.
But they say there's really only a handful of nations that can host World Cups for rugby. And the same can be said of like the Olympics and shit. Like they tried doing it and for sharing out the love and stuff, and now they've just gone, fuck. I think we just go back to countries that can do it well, and that's what it is. But I wasn't excited when Brisbane won the Olympics, but I can promise you right now, I'll be fucking foaming at the mouth when it rolls around.
It's coming.
When it rolls around, it's like
100%, bro, it'll be sick.
Because I'm just imagining, like, in 5 years when it is the World Cup and like going to a game and like seeing everything packed out and Australia versus New Zealand, it'd be fucking sick. If they go on and like, let's say they got into the grand final of the World Cup, that could be the revitalisation of rugby in this country, I think. It could be the start at the least. Not like it won't just automatically be okay the next day, but it could be the start of growing the game back into where it was, maybe. But anyway, interesting times. James Graham, he has said St Helens would be a top team if they consistently played in the NRL. Do you agree or disagree?
James would say that. Didn't James play for St Helens?
He did.
Doesn't James have a dog in the fight? Didn't James play for the Bulldogs?
He did.
Didn't he play for MDMC? Mm-hmm. So James, that's the benchmark for James.
Yeah. Bulldogs and Dragons.
Bulldogs and Dragons.
They did get to 2 grand finals.
Bulldogs and Dragons.
Bulldogs and Dragons.
They did get to 2 grand finals.
I actually really like James Graham.
I love him, but I'm just taking a piss because that's just
no, I know.
It's
But his
disrespectful.
move into NRL punditry, or what is it, analysis, I think he's very good.
He's great.
He's very good at...
Really articulate as well.
Yeah, really articulate.
Measured.
And sometimes, and he just comes in with some slightly different looks at situations. So I like him. But, I mean, Super League, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
If anyone, if you were going to pick a team from Super League, it's probably St Helens. Let's be real.
I think they would be competitive for sure, but I don't think they'd be in the top end of the table.
He's saying a top team, which a top team this season is he's saying fucking Manly, Melbourne, Penrith.
Yeah.
St Helens.
In saying that, he's seen them play more than we've seen them play. So maybe, he's got more information on how they would be if they wouldn't. I personally think...
I've probably watched more Manly games than James Graham has, and I think Manly would fucking win the comp in Super League and in the NRL.
I reckon they'd be fighting for the 8. But you could...
All I can go off is that players leave these shores in the twilight of their career and more often than not come back with fucking Man of Steels. That's what I know. Which says something to me about the quality.
Like Jackson Hastings went and took a team that was basically relegated and took them to a final and won a Man of Steel.
It's pretty incredible when you think about it.
It's incredible what he did, but it also
He's not
shows...
doing the same thing with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah, fair. Radley said to miss 6 to 8 weeks. That's now his 3rd year in a row he's been injured or suspended for Origin.
Fucking syndesmosis, bro.
Dude, he's unlucky.
You know what it is? When you fight in tackles, it increases the likelihood because people can fall in that. Whereas if you go straight down, to get a quick play of the ball or whatever, this wasn't like that. This was just unlucky. But I think that's why it's so common is because you're fighting in tackles and they're trying to get you to the ground. It's like people are going to fall on your ankle kind of thing. But yeah, Radley, 3rd year in a row. Fuck, man. The tough thing for Radley is every year he doesn't make it and another player comes in and plays good. It's another step, I guess, blocker to him getting his debut.
It's another player he's got to compete against because now he's got an opportunity over him.
For example, let's say he wasn't injured last year and he gets the jump on Isaiah Yeo because he was playing really well or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, Isaiah Yeo has that 13 cemented. Cam Murray has a spot cemented. And it's fuck. So you worry that, is he going to be the most unlucky bloke ever where he takes him 4 or 5 years, and by the time he does play, there's other people that have cemented their role in the team, and he's more just a guy that comes in case they're injured or whatever. Because when you talk about someone made for Origin, far out, him in a sky blue jersey would look pretty fucking hectic.
It'd be horny.
It'd be horny work, but unfortunately for him, it's not great timing, and we're fucking stacked in the back row.
Stacked.
Absolutely stacked.
Always have been.
Always will be.
As a state, yeah.
Always will be.
Yeah, we're a state of back rows.
But I can't see anyone getting that 13 jersey for a long time for New South Wales. I just can't see it. Isaiah Yeo is so fucking elite at lock and just comfortably the best ball playing lock in the comp.
Yeah.
It's it's not even close.
Well, I thought Radley was a better ball player at the start of the year. I thought his actual ball playing was better, but I think Isaiah Yeo has continued to improve week in, week out, where... Now I agree. I think Isaiah actually is the best ball player.
Other than Sean Kepi when he plays 13.
Who?
He's obviously the best of the best.
Well, he has revitalised the lock position.
Yeah,
I think you could say before Kepi.
He's changed the way it was played. It's like Bradley Clyde changed the game. Now it's Kepi. Clyde Kepi.
Yeah.
Okay, Sivo activates his player option. That's crazy. Eels, they've been going as well as they have, even though they've been inconsistent. And Sivo hasn't even been playing. Wait till that big boy gets back.
He's injured?
Yes.
Playing New South Wales Cup this week.
Really?
So he'll be back next week. You can imagine.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Great news for the Eels. Previews. Knights versus Broncos, Frizzell and Milford in. Tomato Martin named at fullback. Cobbo on standby to play fullback. If not, he'll be on the wing. How do you boys see this playing out?
Knights are not going to win.
I like your Bronx here. The Knights were not convincing over the Bulldogs. I think that Milford needs a little bit more footy under the belt. But fucking what do I know? This is just a vibe thing. And if the Broncos are going to hump a premiership contender in the Manly Seagulls, then they're doing something right. And Adam Reynolds, dude.
Fuck.
The form he's in, I'm just
that chip.
It's tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
The Knights don't have the fucking weapons in the duffel to negate the form Reynolds is in.
No.
I don't think anyone
He is playing special rugby league.
Career best.
Yeah.
Form.
Well, I was saying him going to the Broncos has done more for his legacy than even if he'd stayed at, maybe not even if he stayed at South and won a comp, but potentially in that you talk about he's gone to a completely different side that are shit or worse shit, largely made up of poo, and he's just absolutely turned it around and he's killing it. It's now Adam Reynolds, there was all these people around him at South where it was like, oh, is it Walker? Is it Latrell? Is it fucking, I don't know, Russell Crowe? Now it's like, oh no, it is. It's his team and he's doing the damn thing.
I actually think it does more for his legacy if he won a comp last year with the Rabbitohs, it would have been like about Walker, Latrell, Cook, Murray. Whereas like now you can clearly see, this guy genuinely can take a team that was at the bottom of the table into finals footy and could potentially even, they probably won't, but they have the opportunity to finish in the top 4, which is wild. They win a game.
They have a look at the top 4. There was no looking at anything.
No one was looking at top 4. And I don't think anyone thought Reynolds would go this fucking well so quickly. What you got there, Matt?
I was not to steal off Cooper Cronk again, but I will. He said, and it makes sense, that he went up to Brisbane and like got made captain, and it was like all over the billboards and everything. Like he's the man in Brisbane. Like he was always important at South, but like, it was always like a cog in the machine in the most respectful way possible. And Cooper Cronk reckons that like Reynolds must love that, and like he's thriving in his footy because of it. So maybe going to Brisbane was the best decision of his career.
Like he's being backed. Like I think at the Rabbitohs he was backed, but he was always kind of like, you're the structured guy. You just do your job. We'll let the other big dogs take care of the tries and that. Whereas I think at the Broncos they're saying, mate, you're the fucking man, and he's going, fucking oath, I'm the man, and he's backing that up.
He's also the first, I believe, do your own research, got this off friend of the show, I believe Jarrell he told us while we were up there, first New South Wales captain of the Broncos. So finally you losers get a New South Welshman captaining the side.
And it helps, and it works. I read somewhere he said he's not going to leave Brisbane. He's like, this is going to be home. I'm staying.
Well, it's my understanding that they didn't even offer him the most contract-wise. He went there because he wanted he wanted to be at the Broncos and have the opportunity.
I'm going to say this only once, and then it's going to be deleted from memory. I'm going to Will Smith you all. I didn't mind it up there.
Brizzy's is a good place.
I didn't mind it.
Brizzy's a good place.
Shit casino we went to. Other than that, I didn't mind it.
What time were you out till on Saturday?
Late, Denon. We went to the casino.
On Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Saturday.
Three,
four.
Did you go to any clubs or just pubs?
We were at the Caxton and then went to casino.
Then went to the casino, waited like an hour and a half to get a feed, and then that was basically like if you sit down for that long, you just run out of
run out of gas.
Yeah.
Fucking LA.
We had a good night though. The fucking casino's a heap of shit though. Apparently there's a new one getting built.
Yeah, or apparently we went in the wrong door. I don't know, but it wasn't
wrong door.
They basically were like, when we got in there, they were like, take your hat off inside. And I'm like, oh, this must be ritzy. Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they just hated your Hello Sport hat.
Well, I don't know if I was wearing it, and they're on sale tomorrow night, Thursday, 6 p.m.
Are you serious, bro?
Thursday, 6 p.m.
It's not me. I'm not saying I hate it.
How dare you, dude?
I'm just saying maybe the Seki hated it.
Hey, listen, I don't mind Brisbane as a town. I will say this, you lack a beach. If you had a beach, it'd be fucking dope.
Gold Coast.
I know, but that's not Brisbane though, right?
It's even better.
Well, it's not though. Gold Coast a bit sort of like, Gold Coast needs a shower every morning as a city. Like, you need to basically like just hose that shithole down every morning.
Brisbane's a nice place to visit.
Yeah.
We've got a better casino. We've got beaches.
Caxton, best pub in the world,
Yeah,
in the
Caxton's
country.
a fucking great pub. It's got everything. The outside area with the big screens.
The dining area. When
everything.
I went in there, I was like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
I can dine and dribble.
Look,
This is fucking brilliant.
There is a reason it's the famous in rugby league.
Dribble.
I'm going Broncos to get the win here.
Yep.
Broncos to get the win. Tigers versus Doggies. Really interesting game. Perfect. I think the Tigers have been playing good footy. I know they haven't won, but I think they're playing good footy. What do you get there,
Just a bit
mate?
of news on both teams, actually. So Bulldogs, apparently the flu swept in. Adokar and Burton in heavy doubt to play. And that, no confirmation, just gone off reports. And also, this has gone off the Daily Telegraph. Apparently the West Tigers are eyeing off Angus Crichton.
Huh?
To buy him.
Yeah.
Wow. Because
Well, come on. Let's just
Let's just
blow
think
up
about
for 1
Angus.
second.
But hang on,
He
but
hasn't
also-
been re-signed, so yeah, of course they're eyeing him off. That makes sense.
Yeah, they probably linked, they've made the link between
AC is a bit
Maguire.
smarter than that. I think.
Yeah, I
Maguire
don't think
and-
Angus Crichton. He
and who?
might have.
They probably just linked it between Michael Maguire and Crichton because he debuted him.
Yeah.
I think Angus Crichton would prefer to retire than go to the Tigers. And I think he'd be a smart man if he did so. Not retire, just if that was his only option. I think the Tigers win, though, because the Bulldogs, for everything that Matty just said, usually I would potentially go with the Dogs, bounce back, because usually when a coach gets sacked, you just feel like the correct thing is that they get a win. Statistically, we've actually found out that it's not, but Tigers will win this one.
Fuck the stats.
Fuck the stats.
Fuck the stats. Go the Doggies.
No.
You go on the Doggies?
Yeah.
I reckon Tigers get the win here. Eels Manly.
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 Yeah, this is a tough one.
Fucking oath it is.
Schuster back. So Garrick's going to get at least 2.
Probably
Manly
3.
win. 13 plus.
Honestly,
one.
and this isn't even spite
Probably
bet. This
two.
is honest. Like, I think after watching the Manly performance, they just seem to be a bit down on energy and confidence, especially the forward pack. I think Eels dominate and win.
No, we turned that
Dominate?
around, dude.
Yeah.
We
You think
turned that
do you
around.
think
Well,
they dominate?
look, unless there's a big turnaround from last week, and I'm being serious here, like you genuinely, your forward pack
We
didn't
looked
look
like pure shit.
anywhere near what they usually
We
are.
looked like pure shit.
I understand that we need a big turnaround. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
But I think we have it in us to
Okay.
turn it around.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like it's
On our day,
it's too big of a turnaround too soon. The Eels are going to be looking for a fucking huge performance. Manly, I just don't think they'll be able to turn around that quickly. I think it's going to take a few weeks to
but
build
we're
back
their
into it.
kryptonite.
You don't get rugby league. Do
We're
they?
their kryptonite. The Eels hate playing Manly.
They do. They
Okay.
hate us. They're scared of
Okay.
us.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going Eels, so you are Manly.
13 plus.
Dragons, Warriors.
I mean, I don't even really want to pick a side here because it's just sort of.
I can't believe Hooks dropped Sloan again.
Dude, what the fuck has Sloan done to him?
He must have.
How is that good for his development? That's what I'm not getting. I respectfully disagree with this decision. I don't see how giving him one game, and yes, he made a couple errors. No one's denying that. And it wasn't the best game. But he's a rookie player. Giving him one game and then dropping him again, how does that help his confidence? On top of that, you're replacing him with essentially another rookie,
Who
Yeah.
replaced him?
Ramsey.
Yeah, it doesn't make a
Oh,
whole lot of
sorry,
sense
right
to
there.
me. Sloan's done something to piss him off. Maybe gave him a noogie that's gone wrong. I don't know.
Might have been. Might have been a noogie that's gone wrong. He had maybe a wet willy when he was on the John.
He might have willied him on the John, possibly. Sure. I mean, he's done something. And you know what does that look
Wedgie?
like? What does that look like optically? You got this young kid who brash, full of bravado, a lot of talent, huge ceiling, giving wet willies to the coach, and you stand back and cop it. What sort of message is that?
Well,
send?
that's it, right? That I'm just going to get walked all over. He's fucking pulled my undies over
It's-
my fucking
ex-
over my
exactly,
head.
exactly.
And I'm sitting here.
Yeah, my asshole's bleeding. I'm
Yeah.
fucking. I got my undies on my head,
Yeah,
and the
well,
optics are bad. The optics are poor.
bad.
They're not the best optics.
The
I'll give you
board,
that.
but the board saw it. You know what I mean? They don't think
Yeah.
I've got any fucking respect within the playing group. As you said, Eddie, I've got basically a full roll of toilet paper plugging my butthole now just to stop the bleeding.
Yep. I'm a mess. Worse
Yeah.
than worse the time I had hemorrhoids. So I can see where Hook's coming from.
Yeah, if that is true.
I think if he had his time over, Sloan, he probably wouldn't go the atomic wedgie on Hook
Yep.
into a wet willy. Probably not the smartest thing for his
Into
career.
a noogie.
For those reasons, Denon, I'm backing the Warriors this week. Aotearoa.
Okay.
Dragons are in turmoil. Wedgie scandal.
Wedgie gate.
Wedgie gate. And also, do you know what? The Dragons, these are the games they lose. Games they should win.
Yep. Eddie, you've kind of convinced me. In about even haven't even picked a result. So because I'm forced to here, not a fence sitter, I'm going to go the Warriors as well.
Good
because,
man.
I got Kiwi blood running through my body.
Good man.
Oh, it's a tough one because you just don't know. Oh, man. Look, I'm going to go, just to be different, I'll go the Dragons. Just to be different, I'll go the Dragons. Because I honestly don't. It's a flip of the coin for me. Cowboys v Storm. Cowboys are 1-17. Hughes returns with Storm. Cheese named prop with Nas out.
Cows.
I think Storm win big here. I think 13 plus. I reckon the Storm fucking take them to Pound Town. That's what I think.
I think the
With
Cows are
Pound Town ones on.
With Pound Town ones
Yeah,
on.
Pound Town ones. I just think the Cows are getting a bit of a roll on.
Storm aren't going to lose two on the trot.
I know that.
Storm
but
don't lose two on
This
the
is
trot.
one where you just got to go with your gut a little bit, and you just got to sometimes be bold. You gotta-
Hughes back. That doesn't make a
Ruben
difference.
Cotter is a vibe. Tuolangi
He's
a
a vibe.
vibe. Scotty Drink a vibe. Val Holmes at centre a vibe.
They've got vibey guys up
Cows have got the vibe. Nanai vibe. City, dude. Nanai
Dude,
is basically
Nanai's-
8 years old.
there. Nano's playing well, dude.
Best 8-year-old in the country, they say.
Nano's playing really well.
Got to
Todd
go.
Payton looks like an evil sort of like an evil character from a film. He could be a bad guy in a Marvel film.
Yeah, okay. I
Come
can see
on,
that.
man.
I can
Cows are a
see that.
vibe. Cows are a vibe. Cows.
I'm
are a
going
vibe.
Storm, though. Storm.
Come with me, punters. Moo with me.
Storm get the win, unfortunately, even though if the Cowboys just even get close to Storm, they're the real deal. If the Cowboys win, holy shit, we've got a new top four side.
Chad Townsend of Vinny Chase fame. Vibe.
We've got Roosters, Panthers.
Panthers.
I think the Panthers, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be relatively close.
I just wonder, they had such a crazy game, like good game, Panthers last week. Like, do they get a little bit complacent maybe? I mean, they haven't shown
Mate,
that they do that.
it would not fucking shock me if the Roosters won.
I didn't see enough of the Roosters' performance against the Eels to know.
Great first half,
Yeah.
not so good second half.
Yeah, the Roosters, it's just a hard fucking one to pick. So I'm going easy option here. Just line of least resistance, Panthers.
Yeah, I'll go Panthers as well. South Raiders.
Raiders.
So I will be going Souths.
I'm on the Raiders here.
Host out. Do you know what I did stupidly, accidentally at the meet and greet? Some people came up and they were like, Jacob hosts out. Like the game was about to start, South Raiders. Jacob hosts out. And they're like, we're lying in front. I go, that won't really make much of a difference, will it? And they're like, he's our friend. And I'm like, whoa, sorry. I didn't mean that he's bad. I just mean like he's not fucking Latrell. But like, obviously, I'm sorry he's injured.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Put
mouth.
your
I mean,
foot.
they didn't win.
Yeah, that mouth finally
Put your
came back to
foot up,
bite
bro.
you.
They did win.
Put your foot.
Sorry to those people. I do apologise.
South vs Raiders, look, this is a really tough one because if you went by first week last week, South were unbelievable. Second week, they weren't great. Raiders have been looking in better form. White returns. Oh, man, I am going to go Raiders.
Yeah,
Go
good man.
Raiders.
Could you argue that Eddie will get the Raiders bet correct this week because the game's being played in Dubbo?
Yes.
You could argue that. You
Yeah.
could.
Apex Oval, one of the great
Or
ovals
you could
all
argue
time.
because it looks like it's supposed to be right, it's wrong.
Tune into About Even to find out why it's wrong. That's all I'll say.
Or you could just get all the information you need from the conversation we just had here on Bloke in a Bar.
About Even on Hello
could.
Sports YouTube channel.
Look, the long and the short of it is I am right.
About
the
even.
long
What
and the
time's
short
about
of it.
even? 6 o'clock tonight?
It depends on how long it takes them to edit it, so just keep your eye out.
Just keep right for about even to get a deeper insight as to why you'd go the Raiders.
Wait, Eddie's
Correct.
wrong.
White is wrong. Okay.
No,
Tigers versus Sharks.
Sharkies.
Yeah.
Sharkies.
Sharks.
Sharkies, Lockie Miller to score a try.
Hines back to 7. The Titans stink. I'm sorry, you do.
Hines, anytime try score, I think's 450. I mean, thanks for coming. Titans stink.
Lockie
And he's
Miller,
a half.
like the amount of line break assists that Hines has had, he's number one in the comp. Lockie Miller's been playing really well. I think he gets a try on debut.
Like it.
I don't mind that at all.
What's Finucane done?
He got KO'd and then did his knee.
His knee,
His knee.
whilst getting KO'd. But Thursday, 6 p.m, Dior jumpers. They are releasing. Thursday, 6 p.m. Set your alarms, plus the hats. Never, most likely, be released again.
Never, ever, most likely, ever again. Never.
Possibly.
But possibly, most likely, put it this way, at the very least, they're not coming for another fucking 4 to 6 months because that's how long it'll take to get them
4
made
to
again.
12 years.
4 to 12 years. Okay. Origin 1, live show at the Locker Room Motel. Make sure to get the Locker Room Motel this weekend. It's right outside ANZ Stadium. It's a great pub, huge big screen. Great to have beers before we go into Accor Stadium, also known as ANZ Stadium previously. We will be doing a live show, Origin 1. Make sure to be there. Plus, we are in every single Celebrations, Bottle-O, IJ, Liquor Plus, Porter's Liquor in New South Wales and ACT. So get in, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar.
Also, if you are a New South Wales resident and you are a beer rep, Matty at blokeinabar.com.au.
No,
Just dot
Just
com.
dot com.
and just Matt, not Matt.
Salary.
And it's not Matty either.
Just Matt. Salary within.
And we'll announce your salary next
We'll
week.
announce your salary.
All right, as usual, we will go and fuck ourselves.
Later.
Thank you.